It is 6:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Happy Hump Day. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tonight, Nashville Soccer Club takes the pitch in search for the club's first major trophy. The boys in gold are in Texas taking on Austin FC for the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final. This will be just the fifth all-time meeting between the two clubs, and Nashville holds the slight advantage in the series with 2 wins, 1 loss, and a draw with 5 goals throughout the U.S. Open Cup competition. Nashville forward Sam Surridge is the runaway leader for the Golden Boot. First kick tonight at 7 p.m. at Q2 Stadium in Austin, Texas, and you can watch the match live via Paramount Plus or on the CBS Sports Network. You can also join Nashville SC's official Open Cup final watch party at Geodis Park tonight at 6 p.m. at Geodis Park's Publix Plaza. The Tennessee Titans hit the practice field for the first time this week as practice preparations begin for Sunday's matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. Head coach Brian Callahan will take to the media before practice around 11:50 a.m. and quarterback Cam Ward will speak after practice at 2:25 this afternoon. You can hear both of those pressers right here coming up later on The Zone. In other NFL news, the Baltimore Sun reported yesterday that Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson could miss the next 2 to 3 weeks and is likely to miss this Sunday's game against the Houston Texans. Jackson suffered a hamstring injury in their loss to the Kansas City Chiefs this past Sunday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Off and running, away we go into your Wednesday morning. Welcome in to Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Scooter's Coffee can get you ready to go this morning. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Is it fair to already say that Cam Ward has gotten worse over the course of this season? We'll talk about that. Our big conversation on the Titans coming up at 7:20 this morning. Here in hour one, we've got SEC Power Rankings, the Foster 5. A little bit more difficult to parse through teams, 4 through like everyone not named Kentucky and Arkansas. We'll get to that coming up this morning as well. AL.com's Nick Kelly talks Alabama and Vanderbilt with us, giving the Alabama perspective at 8:20. And Rhett Bryan, as always, in hour 4 joins us at 9 a.m. 615-737-1045. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling on this Wednesday, October the 1st. What's going on?
What up, Will, man? Good morning, man. Happy hump day to everybody making it through. If you hear my voice a little different this morning, I was screaming my head off. Middle school football last night. Late night, fun night.
Big day for Coach Foster.
Yeah, big day,
Big day for the team.
It was, man. I'll give a shout out at 7, man. I told the guys I'll shout them out at 7 o'clock, but middle school football was insanely competitive last night. Do you hear me? Double overtime middle school game in a county championship. Have you ever had a overtime middle school game? Personally,
I've not been to a middle school football game since I was in middle school.
I didn't even know the rules.
Nice.
I didn't even know the rules. All I knew is we had extra time to play. And I'm asking the other coaches, how much time do we get? Is this downs? You start at the 10-yard line. 3-minute clock for each team is essentially what you get right there. And it was intense. And it's county, too. The other school, man, is not even 4 miles away from where we are at TW Hunter. It's a rivalry that continues to just be one of those types. It was played on our home field last night. I actually thought we should have got home field cooking. We did not at all. I got to give it to the referee group, too, that called it. They were as fair on both sides as you possibly could have been in those moments. I thought we should have had a holding call on them. Whenever we were in overtime and the ref swallowed his whistle, and lo and behold, it...
Let the league office know.
Exactly, but...
You won't get fined for this. So.
I will not get fined for this, but I would not disparage local referees, man, because they were super cool. They were good. Nice. But they called it as down the middle as you possibly could. For a middle school game, it was as loud as I've heard a local game be in a very long time.
Nice.
I had a ball, man. Golly, I had a ball last night.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we've got... Even though it's a Tennessee bye week, and we've got still a lot to preview, and you have a weekend you cannot have to do a broadcast because your voice is gone from middle school football. It's a good time to yell a lot in middle school football.
It was. So usually I'm in the booth upstairs and just looking at the defensive offenses, who's getting whooped, who's winning, and stuff like that. And last night, it's the championship game. So I'm on edge. You know I'm animated. I'm animated anyway, okay?
Sure.
Like, I'm hype about it. I get into sports, dog. So as I'm upstairs, the head coach's dad is upstairs in the booth for me, too, for the first time. And I'm yelling. I'm screaming. The kid that's filming the tape is right beside me. I'm like, I'm hoping what I'm saying is not getting caught on tape. And it got down to the fourth quarter, and I said, I got to go downstairs. Screw this. And I walked down, and from that moment, I didn't stop screaming. That's probably why Coach put me up in the booth anyway.
Fair enough.
But I will say this. The boys responded in a way that I expected them to when I was down there, too. And we got a real good coaching staff, but, like, I'm on the field. I'm yelling them. A kid last night going into overtime fumbled the football. And I spoke with him, man, and we had a real good conversation. Told him, look, this game isn't over. We got to stay in this. I will say this, too, as a lot of Titans fans going to be mad at me saying this. We did make some adjustments throughout
there you go. Nice. Let's be nice.
No, but they were killing us up the middle. They ran a 4-down front. They basically had, because we're known as a running team, they basically had a 9-man, 10-man box. And the kid that won Defensive Player of the Year for the county, you just couldn't stop him up the middle. He was key blitzing like crazy. And we decided, all right, bet, we're going to go Wildcat. And we ended up running with a young cat, man, that would go outside to soften them up a little bit. And that intel helped us, honestly, win the game because we went right up the middle to win the football game. And also our quarterback going into it, nobody expected us to throw the football.
Yeah.
Play action. Bomb down the middle seam. Touchdown, Will. Oh.
If you're just joining us, no, there is not an NFL game or a college game you missed last night. We are recapping a middle school football game that Ramon was coaching and explaining why he has no voice this morning. So you'll hear the shout out for the boys coming up at 7 o'clock.
I will. Your guy had a big game.
Fantastic.
Yeah. His granddads, both of them, it's pretty cool. Have both of your grandparents, both of them, just like, tell Will we hear him is my guy.
I love it. That's great. Well, as the Titans turn the page to the Arizona Cardinals, we will preview that matchup with Rhett Bryan this morning. We'll talk about Cam Ward, the Titans offense, and what the play caller and coordinator said about them yesterday. Bo Hardigree and Nick Holtz both speaking with the media. How difficult is it for this team to move on right now, Ramon? One of the things you told me when I started with Titans Radio, and one of the things that you had kind of told me to look out for is that, like, life does go on. Mm-hmm. It is a long season, and while fans maybe take longer, you didn't say this part, I am, while fans take longer to get over losses and kind of still think about everything that went wrong, you have no choice but to move on. How much more difficult does that become when you are 0-4 and there has not been a lot of positive to hang your hat on at this point?
It's that part. Like, they'll move on by today and specifically tomorrow. Friday, it gets super light in the locker room. Just no matter where you are, how bad you are, it just gets super light because you got to wash that away. What happened the previous week. But what sucks is this, though. That same anxiety does show up on game day. We got to get a win. When it gets back tight in the locker room and guys are speaking and coach does his last rah-rah before going out on the field, everything the week before shows back up again. So, like, you kind of remove yourself from last week because you got to have a new game plan. You got to have a new mindset. But the reality of everything that you are running away from or trying to capture again, if you're winning, is right in front of you. And to me, I think that's the hardest thing for teams that have been on losing streaks. I have, too. I've started this season off 0-4 in 2013. I know how this feels. I know this sucks. Like, being in it, the first week, you're like, all right, we lost.
Sure.
We're supposed to get past this.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you get to the fourth one, you start asking yourself, is this who we are? And that's where Sunday going to Arizona, this is where this squad would be at. Is this where we are? And who's going to be the guy or guys to help change this around?
Mm-hmm.
In the building, though, I will say there will be laughing, there will be music, there will be joking. Well,
Foursquare.
The
loudest games of Foursquare you have ever heard.
Now, what did happen, though, for us, we had a bye week. They don't have a bye week right now in this first quarter.
Sure.
Now, coaches did change some stuff. They took, like, the ping pong table out the locker room. They took, like, the shuffleboard. Oh, yeah. No more gambling. Like, we ain't got no time for no fun. that was one of the things that did happen. And that was just to make everything about football again.
Sure.
So that to me is where I feel like guys got to take that next step. Like on the flight, they'll be joking around and you'll see them be cool again, Will. But inside the building, some stuff will have to change. Like, what's our concentration in meetings? Where's the detail in walkthrough? How do we get past the small stuff? Are y'all spending more time after practice? Like, that's what guys had to do, even if it was like little small technique stuff.
Right.
The asking to redo plays over should be normal.
All I know is I'm just going to have to check 5 times if I have the time right of when the game is, because Arizona confuses me with their lack of time changes.
Same.
That is the one thing that I can't wrap my head around is what time it is in Arizona or in Phoenix specifically. I know the game's at 3:05 Central, and I'll just know when to be on the bus, and we'll be good from there.
So is that 2 or 1 o'clock Arizona time?
I think 2. I literally I've looked it up. I genuinely still don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Google search. What time is it in Arizona right now? It is 4:13. So yes, 1:05.
105. That's normal for you.
There you go.
There. Yeah.
1:05 Phoenix time. 615-737-1045. How you jump in here at 6:13 in Nashville. I can tell you that one. Live for the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. Who are the top 5 teams in the Southeastern Conference? We'll tell you next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, man. October is here, and so is the return of chilly air seeping into your home. Well, if you have old windows that are stuck, old or cracked, well, it's time for you to change them. You can eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with all the top quality replacement windows from Window Nation. Window Nation has some of the best replacement windows out there, and the installation crews, they'll finish the job in one day.
Yes, they will, Ramon, and they also have the best deal out there. This month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 for free. There is no limit to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1-day installation. So make no payments for 2 years, no monthly payments, down payment, and no interest until 2027. And that's a big deal with the holidays coming up, believe it or not. Window Nation with an A+ rating for the Better Business Bureau, over 45,000 5-star reviews. Call them today at 866-90-NATION or head online to windownation.com. Get started on your free estimate before October 31st to save big on your replacement windows online at windownation.com. First of the month and Wednesday morning on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. We got the signature blend going in here this morning. Big barista moan.
Yeah.
Getting it ready for us.
Wasn't too strong, was
It's
it?
very good. It's very good. I mean, I need strong in the morning
I know.
to make sure we know what we're talking about.
Sometimes we just have gas underneath the drip.
Yeah, that's
time.
fair. And then a couple hours later, then you also have gas. Just in a different way.
Yes, you do.
We get jet fuel, and then we make jet fuel. So the Foster 5 this morning is ranking the top teams of the SEC. We'll do this month to month through the SEC season. How difficult was it for you to separate a top 5 in the SEC right now?
Hard. Super hard. Looking at who they've played, looking at how they won, looking at how they lost, looking at how close they won. I played a part in this one too. Five is tough.
It is tough. No doubt.
5 is tough because I want to go a little bit with where they're ranked. This is mine, right? Is how we're doing it too?
I'll
Okay.
give mine after
All right.
you give yours.
I had to X somebody out late. Is the way I'm looking
Did you?
at this one. Yes, I did.
All right.
That team that got X'd out,
Yep.
ready? Texas.
So Texas not in your top 5.
Can't put them in there.
Yeah, they're not at mine either.
Okay,
They've
all
not
right.
proven
You
a
had me
thing.
nervous there for a second. You had me nervous there for a second, man. I can't put them in my top 5 with how they won. They lost hard. They lost hard up in the shoe. Any coach that takes on a team like that in week 1, you got to commend them for what they are and what they did. And if they had to play well in all the other games, and they somewhat did, but not really. I'm looking specifically at the UTEP game for them, 27-10. That's not top 5 in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they already got a blemish on their record too, and they don't have a big quality win the way I viewed them going into it.
We have a lot of answered questions on most SEC teams, and Texas, to me, Ramon, could be the team that I still have the most questions about in the whole conference.
Yeah, same. I mean, we're having conversations about Vanderbilt doing them bad whenever they got to see them. Like,
yeah, I mean, honestly,
they're that.
right. Vanderbilt has more of an identity as a team, definitely as an offense, than Texas does at this point. And I got to see if Arch Manning can do it against a good opponent and see if Arch Manning can look more like himself again and less like Uncle Rico.
I know.
The way he's throwing the football.
And he had the right to go do this, staring down defenders from Sam Houston. Now, that guy played him too, so he got his lick back.
That guy stared him down also earlier in the game.
He got his lick back.
Context matters.
Absolutely. He got his lick back, and you're supposed to do that every single time somebody gets you. All right, so my number 5, as I delay my answers on this one, Vanderbilt.
Vandy at number 5. Wow. Okay.
It's the first edition of this.
Okay.
I got to call a spade a spade. Vanderbilt has gone into the teeth of a couple of venues while they were ranked at the time or had high expectations and beat them. I thought at the time, you know how I am about it. Now, later in the season, we'll discuss the last edition of this. But to go into Virginia Tech and beat them, okay? We had Chris Lee on yesterday speaking about the intro songs that they have. You're going into the fire.
Yeah, right.
You know those places, right? For them to get Tech the way they did and how they beat them in the second half, too, I thought was super unique. Then, back-to-back weeks, they go to South Carolina, who's ranked 11th at the time, right? They beat South Carolina. Well, they beat Virginia Tech worse than South Carolina did and ended up beating South Carolina at the same time, same way also. Now, here's the thing. Lenore Sellers didn't make it the second half of that game. With that being said, they also knocked Lenore Sellers out. You get credit for that in my book.
Yeah, you do.
You get credit for that. And, of course, the way they beat their at-large teams, too, Georgia State, Utah State, 70 points. There's nothing to sniff at. If that was us and the way we did ETSU, heck, I'm bragging about that one, too. Vandy, number 5 right now.
Yeah, Vandy has not had to have their starters play all 4 quarters of a game yet, which is crazy. Like all of their starters, because they've been so out of reach of their opponent, but in the good way.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is happening, and it's in the bad way for Vanderbilt. Not anymore. I don't think they're a top 5 team in the SEC because I just think there are so many other good teams that have played better opponents or have just more talented rosters who have proven more. But if you were doing a pure power ranking on how well that team is playing, especially relative to their expectations and relative to the players on the field, then yeah, I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think there are still 8 or 9 teams you could put in this top 5, and it would make a lot of sense.
Easily.
And they are certainly in the mix. So Ty Simpson, the Bama quarterback, talked about not making the same mistake again. We're going to hear that audio coming up in about 20 minutes. And I'm curious how much more of a good shot teams give Vanderbilt this season versus last year. Like, nobody's taken Vandy lightly this season. That's not enough to, like, that's obviously kind of a lazy narrative. Like, that doesn't mean everything. I do think it means something.
Yeah.
And I think especially for Alabama this weekend, it might mean the difference between winning and losing the game like they did last year.
In this spot, and I'm going to eliminate the others that are in there. In this spot could have easily been Missouri. It could have been Georgia.
Yep.
It could have been.
You don't have Georgia in your top 5? Oh, okay. That's. I think that's too overreactionary. Overreactionary to their loss to Alabama.
I know.
It's not the bowling 5, it's the Foster 5, but still, I mean, Georgia's still a top 5 team in the SEC.
Okay.
Why aren't they to you?
Because for them to lose at home the way they did, I throw that into there. I think Kirby got out coached for the first time probably in his career. I say this also with the understanding that Kirby still has a strong team. He's got a quarterback that I thought found his answers. They were coming off of a bye week. They have most, if not all, of their health also. And looking at the way that Alabama started the season off and to where they are, they showed them to be a step above where Georgia was for my top 5. Also, the quality of win that Georgia had against us, I look at it as it was tight. It was overtime, and then you come off a bye and get beat the way they did. I couldn't put them in that top 5. I think there are teams right now that have played better ball than they have so far.
All right.
With how the rest of this is going.
It's your list.
Yep.
I think, though, if you're going to knock them for losing at home, I mean, you got to probably knock Tennessee for losing at home, too.
They ain't in my top 5.
Tennessee isn't?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You're consistent.
I'm a fair guy on this one.
No,
okay?
you are.
Yeah.
You absolutely are.
I'm a fair guy on
I
this
still
one.
think the talent is there. And I just think one decision to not run it or to run it on 4th and 1 the way that they did instead of either kicking a field goal or sneaking it
I'm with you.
is literally the difference in that game. But again, it's the Foster 5, not the bowling 5.
No doubt. I'm going to go quicker so I can hear yours, too. 4. Alabama.
Bama at 4. All right.
Bama at 4. The way they reset themselves after that loss to Florida State. Florida State also got sniped this past weekend. Also, play against Wisconsin, win. And then I think that win and how they won against the way Kalen DeBoer beat Kirby Smart, I think gives more credit for them being in the top 4. That I feel like the potential of what they are as a team pushes them into the top 5 over Georgia at this point, in my personal opinion, especially with the play at quarterback. Georgia also still has questions at the quarterback positions more than anybody else on this list. Well, except for one team.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Alabama, number 4.
Alabama, number 4. Number 3 on this list for me. And they got a lot of questions that they're going to have to get answered. But that is Oklahoma.
Oklahoma 3. I actually did not have Oklahoma in my top 5.
Undefeated. Michigan win.
I probably should, though.
Michigan win. Auburn win.
Yep.
And also undefeated. Now, where they are post John Mateer, they can skid. I'm talking about they can fall. They can tumble out of this top 5. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't have an undefeated team like them that have really good quality wins this early in the season not been in the top 5. Because they are who they are at their bye week. If I'm not mistaken, they are coming off of a bye. Mm-hmm. And they got a week to adjust. We'll do this again. This is just the first edition.
Sure. I think if I'm doing Oklahoma with a healthy John Mateer, they are 5 for me. I think if I'm doing just who's playing right now with Michael Hawkins, then you'll see what my list really looks like. But yeah, if you assumed a healthy Oklahoma right now, then yeah, absolutely, they're a top 5 team in the SEC.
I'm not going to do what the committee did to the Vols in 22, and because Hendon's not there, we not in. I'm at least going to give them the benefit of the doubt because it is early. It's the first
power
version.
ranking. Power rankings are different than who do you think is going to be there at the end.
It's the first version of it is the way I'm looking at this one.
Yep.
OU is 3 for me.
Okay.
So Vandy, Bama, OU. And the defense also of OU is, I think, is going to carry them more. It allows that offense to do what John Mateer was doing. Now, we'll see what the backup quarterback does with this defense supporting it.
Sure.
But the first 3 teams have had that.
Number 2.
Texas A&M.
Okay.
The most slept-on team in the SEC at this point right now. Undefeated. Quality. I mean, again, Auburn, Notre Dame, again, beating them the way Notre Dame came back and beat Arkansas. You know that's a good coach team. You know they got answers offensively and defensively for their team. The same way we felt about Clemson's team as far as first rounder, high draft prospect. Texas A&M has the exact same thing also, and I'm absolutely loving what they're doing, and nobody's talking about them at all. Now, again, their quarterback they have, Marcel Reed, he's playing lights out too, although his passing percentages aren't that high. But as a football player, he's absolutely making plays for them on the ground, and Le'Veon Moss being a part of that too. Like, they got answers at every level on offense and defense.
Le'Veon Moss ran really well on Saturday against Auburn. That was an Auburn run defense that entered the game 5th in the nation, allowing 58 rushing yards per game. The Aggies had 145 by halftime and finished with 207. Le'Veon Moss, 6.6 yards per carry in this game and a career-high 139 yards. It felt like Mike Elko and A&M just decided, no, we can win this game in the teens. We don't have to open it up very much because Auburn cannot block the TW Hunter Middle School team right now.
No, they can't.
And that is all that we need to do is just manage the game. Don't lose the game, and at the end of the day, you're going to win it.
That's no way to play though if you Auburn. Like, it's not sustainable.
Well, it just they can't block anybody, and their quarterback. It's similar issues to the Titans.
Yeah.
In the two issues of the quarterback getting sacked are kind of equally blamed between the offensive line and the quarterback that's holding the ball too long. It is limited in the types of throws that he can make right now in the offense. You watch that Auburn team, they don't throw the ball over the middle. Jackson Arnold just doesn't throw it over the middle. Everything's to the hash marks or deep or run. There is no pass game over the middle of the field between the hash marks. He can't do it. He doesn't have that level of confidence.
That's a hard way to live, man.
Very hard way to live.
I'm talking
no
about
doubt.
As a player, knowing that you're not utilizing a part of the field consistently enough to keep the defense on this hill sucks. Like, it absolutely is one of the worst things ever, especially when you have the capabilities. Like, why can't you get that to unlock in your mind? Heck, we threw a seam down the middle last night for a touchdown. Middle school football.
Nice.
Crazy.
All comes back to the Bucks. I love it. Number one's Ole Miss, right?
It's Ole Miss.
You got to be.
2 SEC quality wins right now, man. Everybody else that's not been a Power 5 team, Power 4 team, Tulane, they absolutely smoked that. Did not see that.
Not a Power 4, but that counts.
Yeah, they are Power 4? Yes, they are.
Tulane?
Yes.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. That's what I'm saying. Everybody not a Power 4 is what I said.
Yes. I thought you were saying they were a Power 4 team.
No,
you're right. I'm with you.
But they've simply won going into the bye week right now. Lane has actually done the same thing with Trinidad Chambliss as he has his original starter Simmons. Like, he's cooking right now.
I will never worry about the quarterback position at Ole Miss.
Cooking.
They'll always be at least pretty good.
If he's not on the all name too, Trinidad Chambliss also. I mean,
it's a very Ole Miss name.
I mean, yes, Chambliss, absolutely.
Trinidad. I mean,
Trinidad, both of them. But Lane has proven that the quieter he is, the more nervous everybody else should be. And that's what I see out of Ole Miss right now. I thought last year was his team. You've said this time and time again, too. It's not the team that you say is going to go get it. It's usually the team after that.
A lot of times it's the team after the team.
Yeah. This seems like the after team right now.
Well, I do think they are not quite as good on their defensive front on the back end. I mean, they lost so much from that front seven on defense. However, they're good enough right now. And against LSU, who, again, like, I don't understand LSU's inability to run the football. I just don't get it. Why 2 years in a row now they are one of the worst running teams in the SEC and heck in the Power 4. They gained 57 yards of the ground in this game. I mean, it was one of those where, like, what's the balance of weaknesses evening out here? It was an Ole Miss defense that struggled to stop the run. Did that mean LSU was going to finally be able to run it? Or is LSU so bad at running the ball that Ole Miss is finally able to stop a run offense? Well, it turned out to be the latter, that Ole Miss was finally able to stop a team running the ball because LSU just doesn't do it. And it does not make sense to me.
Right.
You are putting so much on Garrett Nussmeier, who is not 100% healthy, goes 21-34 in this game, 197 and a touchdown, also threw a pick. Lane Kiffin after the game said, a little short kid from Division II going against Nussmeier and the Mighty Tigers of LSU. It was awesome. Talking about Trinidad Chambliss. And he's right. I mean, they've got the pro-ready guy in Nussmeier at LSU, but there's the short kid who transferred in from Ferris State.
Crazy.
Who was able to get the
You
win.
mentioned him early in the offseason, though.
Well, I mean, and two, like Lane has been consistent that he has not been afraid of signing 2 transfer quarterbacks or signing a transfer to be a backup and saying, now go try to win the job. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
They had Austin Simmons coming in, big-time recruit, big-time arm, lefty that they loved, who came in spot duty for Jackson Dart last year, led a touchdown drive against Georgia, but they got an insurance policy in Trinidad Chambliss. And imagine if they hadn't.
I mean, seriously.
Where they would be right now. So
transfer portal.
I mean, it begs the question, like, is it in your best interest when you have a freshman backup or a young, inexperienced backup to go sign a backup quarterback with the expectation that, like, hey, man, like, we're recruiting you to be a backup quarterback and to maybe battle, but, like, would you rather play D2 and make a little bit of money and play a lot of football or play D1 and make a lot more money and play a little bit of football? Worked out well for Trinidad Chambliss.
It did. It really did. He got seen.
Yep.
You're going to get seen in this era.
No doubt. I mean, this is the same coach in Lane Kiffin who signed Spencer Sanders from Oklahoma State and Jackson Dart in the same portal cycle.
I mean, but think about what Mississippi State, Fluff Bothwell. Exact same situation.
A little bit different because that's a running back. Because there's only one quarterback.
But just saying, like, the idea of, like, going to get these small school guys that are crazy impactful is my point.
Well, yeah, that part's consistent. I'm talking more about going in the portal and telling a kid, I'm signing you to be a backup.
Wow. Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's in my top 5. I would put Tennessee 5th. Because, again, if I'm ranking an Oklahoma that doesn't have a healthy John Mateer for the next couple of weeks, like if these teams played this weekend,
I get you.
I think Tennessee would be number 5.
I get you.
Tennessee on Saturday loses the turnover battle, ran for less yards, and really never looked to be in total control in Starkville. They still averaged a full 2 yards per play better than Mississippi State, 6.5 to 4.5. And Mississippi State in this game, Ramon, had one of their 4 touchdown drives that was longer than 26 yards.
One.
Thanks to Tennessee's turnover issues.
Gifts.
Tennessee made a lot of mistakes in that game. They still get credit, though, for the way I think that's as well as a defense has ever played, giving up 34 points.
I ride with you there.
Yep.
And then do you do quality loss? That's what that is, Georgia?
I mean, again, we're a missed kick away from talking about how Tennessee's probably 1 or 2 on this list.
Like, seriously, no later than 3.
Right.
I'm with you there.
Right. So, again, I would put Oklahoma 5 and Tennessee 6 if I am putting this all together in terms of how they are playing right now and who is healthy right now. And it sounds like David Hobbs is healthy right now, which is another reason why I'd put Tennessee in there. I think Texas A&M is 4.
Why so low?
So low. I mean,
it's high. We're talking about the top 5. My bad. Why 4?
We're talking about teams that are very hard to separate. And I still think that Georgia's win in Knoxville is enough to put them at 3, is why, on my list. And I think Alabama's got the best win in the country this year because they're the first team to beat Georgia at night in Sanford Stadium since 2009. Okay. That's significant. I've got Alabama 2 on my list, and I have Ole Miss number 1 in my SEC top 5. I don't have Texas close to this list because, again, like I just still have a ton of questions about Texas, which is crazy to me considering they've already played Ohio State. But it just doesn't look good right now.
Real quick, you think the Alabama win over Georgia is better than the Ole Miss win over LSU?
Yes.
Okay.
You're the first team to beat Georgia under the lights since 2009 in their building.
That's fair.
That is the best win in the country this year.
That's fair.
615-737-1045. Well, the quarterback who orchestrated that game, talking a little bit in the media, getting ready for Vanderbilt and Alabama. You'll hear from Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson coming up next. Wednesday morning on Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Dinard Wilson explained what happened on 2nd and 33 in Houston yesterday. And you will hear from him coming up next. Titans defensive coordinator, 615-737-1045. Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson says that his team is not taking Vandy lightly this year. The Bama quarterback and Martin, Tennessee native making some headlines, speaking to the media yesterday.
The mentality of the locker room this week, right, is, what about, if we remember, you know what I mean? Like, we remember what happened last year. What are we going to do about it? Even though it's not about last year, it's about us. We're not going to make the same mistake again. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to, they're not the same team last year. Neither are we. You know what I mean? Like, they're better. And we're better in some ways. So this is a top 25 matchup. College game day coming in here. Like, this is a really, really, really good Vanderbilt team. And it's not one of the biggest games of the year. You know what I mean? So, we need to come in with the mentality like we have been all these past couple games, like a chip on our shoulder, and it's Alabama against the world.
It's Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson speaking with the media. Ramon, when you had lost a game and then had that team the next year, how much did you talk about the last matchup? How much do you allow yourself to look back, so to speak?
Vandy from 05 to 06. Oh, yeah, we had to have them. Absolutely. Everything that mattered went into that game that week right there in those 2006 games, man. And you don't focus on it at all, like leading up to it. But that when it hits that week, it gets shouted in the locker room as coach is talking. Going in practice that week, we speak about everything they said, everything they did, how they acted as a team after that win, how you felt after that win. I mean, after that loss. Like, everything goes into it, Will. Like, and I'm glad to hear, like, Ty Simpson suppress a little bit of it and just give a whole lot of credit to Vanderbilt. It's like, we understand they're a really good team. It's a top 25. He's saying everything that he's supposed to. You know what he's probably saying to his boys in the meeting, though? Bleep them. We got to have this, y'all. Hey, we owe them this. They got to feel us for 4 quarters and extra if we have to. Like, the amount of focus that goes into getting your lick back is by far, or getting payback, for the ones who understand the lick back part, getting payback is centrally, like, it's the concentration of everything that you want going into it, Will. You can't not talk about it more, but here's what I would say. By the time Friday hits and Saturday morning, there's no more talking at that point, though.
Sure.
It's fun having to relive it, though. I will say that, especially when you feel like you're better or healthier, too. And you know what the expectations are.
It kind of sounded like he was giving his real answer and then gave the one that he's supposed to give.
He did.
In the middle of that, where he's like, oh, yeah, we remember last year. We got to get back to them. But they're a different team. We're a different team. Like, kind of remembered who he was talking to. He wasn't just talking to the locker room. But how much does the target on Vandy's back matter in the way opponents will approach Vanderbilt week? Because for Alabama, this is the first example of an SEC team that lost to Vanderbilt last season, and a Vanderbilt team that will not be taken lightly by that team this time around. How much of a difference does that make?
That Vandy is a known commodity?
Yep.
It only matters to Vanderbilt, I feel like.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is this. Vandy, if they understand that they are more wanted than they ever have been now, or teams don't want to play them the same way as they have in years past, then they're fine. Like, that's the way I feel. Like, if Vanderbilt understands that, hey, we are better, and people understand that, so we have to approach it that way too. As long as they walk into stadiums and feel like they are better prepared, they're better coached, and they got better players, it don't matter, to be quite honest with you. But to the teams that feel like they got to announce Vandy, they got to say, hey, this isn't the same team, I do think it adds a little bit more pressure to them, though. I think Alabama has probably a little bit more pressure to feel on this moment.
100% more pressure. I mean, this is not a look-ahead game.
No.
You're not thinking about who you're playing the next week. You're not thinking about going to, play LSU, or you're not thinking about the Tennessee game. Like, your sole focus is on Vanderbilt. And I don't think that was the case for Alabama last season. Now, to be fair, that's not just unique to Vanderbilt. That was unique to when Alabama played South Carolina last season. Mm-hmm. Alabama struggled and obviously lost to Oklahoma, an Alabama team that lost this year to FSU and Tommy Castellanos. Mm-hmm. There's something about this Kalen DeBoer team and Alabama program, and he did this at Washington too, where he would go beat Oregon and then lose one that you just scratch your head and like, really?
Yeah. How
do you not have you guys ready to play for that one? Like, that's the psyche of the Alabama program that I think is a little bit of a yellow flag, not even really red flag. It's a yellow flag for Kalen DeBoer. I don't think you worry about that with College Game Day in town and Vanderbilt being dubbed as one of the most important games of the year by Ty Simpson. Here's the other step that Alabama, I think, is taking. They're starting to treat every game like it's the most important game.
It's that part.
And that's where Alabama has got to take the next step under Kalen DeBoer and cure themselves of losses like FSU and Oklahoma and games like that and the unranked losses that Alabama has been victim to. You got to treat every game this way. And the good programs do that. I mean, the good coaches also convince you that nobody believes in you the way Kirby Smart always does. Yeah. And I don't think Alabama has had that skill. And this is not the time to learn if they gained it for this game because College Game Day's in town. There's a target on everyone's back in this game. This is a massive, massive moment for both these teams.
It is, and there's two different scenarios going into it also. Well, you bring up like Alabama having to understand to play at that level all the time. Yeah. Like that's the Saban thing, right? Like you never minimize
standard
anybody.
Is the standard.
Can Alabama take Athens and bring it to Tuscaloosa?
Right. Can you be consistent with that level of performance?
Absolutely. And can Vanderbilt, who was the last? Utah State, can you rise up to where Alabama was just at? Is so. Which version of this game are you going to get? Is it going to be more Vanderbilt rising up even more?
Yeah.
Or does Alabama, to your point, sleep?
If I'm a Vandy fan, I love that you're running the same offense.
Is that? Yes.
As what FSU did.
Yep.
Very similar, the film that you can capitalize there. If I'm a Bama fan, I like that you can watch what went wrong in the FSU game and try to correct some of that in this game as well. Mario is in Memphis, 615-737-1045. Hey, Mario.
What up, Mario?
Morning, fellas. Morning, fellas. Morning, fellas.
Morning.
Hey, check this out, man. I was watching that Dead Balls in Mississippi State game. Tennessee should be on a 2-game losing streak, but we ain't going to talk about it, though, because I thought Mississippi State ran the ball down their throat. Mm-hmm. What I really want to get to, I want to talk about these Titans, and I want to talk about probably the week the head coach going to get fired. Because you got to look at it, Ramon and Will. They got Arizona coming up. Then they got, I think they play Vegas. In Vegas. Yep. Then I think they play, is it the Chargers?
New England Patriots at home.
They play New England. Okay, so we're going to look at that. That's going to be, 0-7, because the Patriots probably going to beat them. Then you got the Chargers, am I correct? Oh. And then you got the Colts, and then you got the Chargers. It's around about week 9. Week 10, I think the head coach is going to get Cam, man. Because they're looking too much like Ken Whisenhunt days. You know what I'm saying? He done lost 10 or 11 straight. I just think it's just a bad vibe, man. I just think the players, I've seen a lot of people criticizing Cam Ward for what he said in the podium. Hey, man, he was just being honest. He probably was being a little bit too honest, but he was just being honest. I mean, right now, we look like the worst thing they put on a uniform and helmet on Sunday. What y'all think? What you think, Ramon? What week you think he gonna get canned?
Thank you, Mario. Appreciate the call.
I love my Memphis folks calling. They hit you with you know what I'm saying? Like, I love my Memphis folks when they call. Mario, you call back anytime. What I think is this. Well, we'll talk more about it because we up against it, but we're all speculating. I don't know when. A lot of people have said Vrabel game or Patriots game. Who was Vrabel? Patriots game.
That'll be week 7.
That'll be week 7. Now, 0 for 10, that's a different conversation, Mario. It really is. But we don't know, again, how they feel about him in the building.
All the reporting out there is that they still really don't want to make a move in season. They want to give him as much time as they can, unless things really, 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 really get away. I don't know. It's hard to look ahead and see what the exact timing is going to be.
I know. I just want to know, are you still watching?
Yeah.
Or listening to Titans Radio.
Coming up, Dinard Wilson explained why L'Jarius Sneed gave up a completion on 2nd and 33, and you'll hear from him next.
If you haven't been to Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills recently, you need to stop in and see what they have done. Genesis has a totally reimagined, brand new, state-of-the-art showroom. This is the most beautiful, most modern, most incredible jewelry showroom in America. It's double the size of the old showroom. Tons of new showcases, too, and an artisan coffee bar. A relaxed and comfortable customer lounge is what it is. It's luxurious, but warm and inviting at the same time. You feel welcome there, man. This is a jewelry showroom that sets the new standards and a reflection of the quality you get at Genesis Diamonds every day. There's also an entirely new section devoted to luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Genesis now has one of the best Rolex collections in America. And we're so lucky to have Genesis here, too. Unbeatable value, unrivaled selection, uncompromising standards. They're celebrating 20 years in Nashville, but they're not resting. They keep pushing forward, making your experience better than ever. This new showroom proves it, man. Check them out. It's in Green Hills. And don't forget, they're also open in Cool Springs, too. Genesis Diamonds, my jeweler.
It is 7:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tonight, an exciting one as Nashville Soccer Club takes the pitch in search for both the club's and Tennessee's first major professional sports championship. The boys in gold are in Texas taking on Austin FC for the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final. This will be just the fifth all-time meeting between the two clubs, and Nashville holds the slight advantage in the series with 2 wins, 1 loss, and a draw. First kick at 7 p.m. tonight at Q2 Stadium in Austin, Texas, and you can watch the match live via Paramount Plus or on the CBS Sports Network. You can also join Nashville SC's official Open Cup final watch party at Geodis Park tonight at 6 p.m. on the Publix Plaza. The Tennessee Titans are back on the practice field today for the first time this week as preparations begin for Sunday's matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. Head coach Brian Callahan will speak to the media before practice at 11:50 this morning, and quarterback Cam Ward will speak after practice at 2:25 this afternoon. You can hear both those pressers coming up later on The Zone. In other NFL news, the Baltimore Sun reported yesterday that Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson could miss the next 2 to 3 weeks and is likely to miss this Sunday's game against the Houston Texans. Jackson suffered a hamstring injury in their loss to the Kansas City Chiefs this past Sunday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2, 7 a.m. in Music City on Ramon and Will. Beautiful morning in Middle Tennessee. Visit a locally owned Scooters Coffee location to make it even a little more beautiful. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. He is the 11-year NFL veteran and Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster.
Yay.
Justin Hawkins, our producer. I'm Will Bowling. Streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. You can subscribe to the Ramon and Will podcast to get every hour, every segment, every one of my bad jokes, wherever you download podcasts. Yesterday, Titans coordinators plus Bo Hardigree met with the media. We got highlights of that coming up for you here in hour 2, including Titans defensive coordinator Dinard Wilson saying, "We're going back to playing basic, fundamental football." He was asked about L'Jarius Sneed getting beat on 2nd and 33, and the Titans defensive coordinator had this to say.
To me, it's like this. It's for all the players. We got to understand situational football, right? We got them backed up. It's 2nd and 33. I made a call. It was a call to keep a roof on top of the defense, and he went and pressed. And then, even from pressing, he should have been outside leverage regardless, whether he was off or on. But he just has to have better awareness of the situation. And if I have to put a call to make them get off, I have to do that. Also, what you don't notice, the safety also left from the hash. We supposed to have been zoning a quarter playing cover 4. And once the safety pushed to the hash, the quarterback, it was one step and the ball was up. So it's not just LJ. He has to understand the situation, but we have to execute the details of the defense and the coverage to take the quarterback off of the X.
Dinard Wilson speaking yesterday. How big of a mistake, Ramon, is that? Cover 4, getting beat like that and trying to press up at the line.
Bad. Because the coach didn't even cover for him right there. That's how bad it was. He didn't throw him under the bus. He just told him he was being very unprofessional right there. He knows better. That was him going rogue and being selfish in his own world of trying to play how he felt like is good for him. Coach called the defenses for a reason. That's inexcusable. I feel like this is the type of situation right here. If you had a player better, you put him in. Like, that's the type of mistake that sound like that was, because, again, the game wasn't away from him, especially who that guy is. You know who that player was, and you allow him to get downfield like that and honestly create some momentum for them. That's flagrant, man. When a coach doesn't cover for you publicly like that, they're still ticked off. Yeah. And they need the world to let Dinard, to me, is letting the world know, or letting this fan base know, that ain't my call.
Sure.
I don't call defenses that set us up like that.
Yeah. When Dinard Wilson says we're going back to playing basic fundamental football, what does that look like schematically?
schematically is putting your guys in the best situation to win, meaning it's going to be simple. It might be 2-man, probably a little bit more cover 2. It's probably going to be straight ahead, throw the stunts out. We're not going to blitz as much. If we do, it's going to be strategic and downhill. It's going to be upfield, beating your guys one-on-one. We're going back to the basic techniques. I'm not rolling and rocking anybody. Line them up and play them. That way the offenses, they can't try to undress us and put us in bad situations. We are basic right now, meaning it's either man-to-man, cover 2, or cover 3. There's no disguising and wizardry as far as it goes when it comes down to, like, them trying to scheme somebody and trick somebody. Tricking people has you in position to where you're putting, 2nd and 33, whatever those situations are. There's no trickeration in this. This is going to show more than anything who is beating who or who's getting whooped.
How does a veteran with Snead's experience get beaten in that moment on 2nd and 33? Like, why is he insisting on pressing Nico Collins on 2nd and 33 and getting right up on him where you could smell the flavor of breath mint?
Those are personal missions right there. Ain't no other way around. That's personal.
They were talking a lot post-play. And it's funny, again, if you missed it, talking about it yesterday. I had just done a hit on Titans radio talking about how, hey, like, L'Jarius, according to Tony Oden, quarterback's coach, like, wasn't trying to be disrespectful to Nico Collins. They preach in that room, we want our opponent to be a nameless, faceless opponent.
Yeah.
We look at them on film, but we don't give them any added, thought process because we are worried about ourselves. We want that thought process to be about us. Ooh. And that's fair. But there's also a fuel you don't have to add to the fire.
And that's what it was.
In the media, and you can just say that. Yeah. You don't have to say who.
Yeah.
Right? And make it a little more personal.
He should have overplayed him. Man, that guy's a dog. Nico, he's been one of the best to do it, man. And he could even say from a guy that came out of nowhere. Like, I'll look at that as a slight. What you mean I can't? Like, but that's the thing. Like, Nico Collins became a thing when C.J. Stroud got there and became more of a dude. Like, there's ways that he could have dissed him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, he didn't have to give that blip when your team is 0 for also. And maybe he was thinking, well, heck, they 0-3 also, just like us.
Let's go to Michael on the phone, 615-737-1045. Good morning, Michael.
What's going on, guys? Oh, my God. Is it possible for us to maybe write in like a women's flag football team on the schedule? To me, that seems like the only team we're going to be able to beat this year. And with this game that's coming up, we're fixing to face the worst team that we're going to face for the rest of the season. If we can't beat these guys, the only thing we got looking forward to is the number 1 pick for next year. And on Snead, I'm sorry. The dude's done. He's past his prime. It's time to let him go. He's playing like a guy that got paid his contract and doesn't feel like he's got to work anymore. That's what it looks like when I watch him play. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Michael. You still do play the Saints December 28th.
Yeah, exactly.
That's by far the easiest game left in your schedule.
Cardinals ain't bad. They got a dynamic playmaker. Like, Kyler Murray can scare you.
I don't think Snead has given up because he got paid. I think Snead is not as good as he used to be pre the injury last year and still thinks he can play the same style.
Not it.
That he did in Kansas City. And his mind thinks he can do one thing and his body is saying he can do another thing. That's what I see. I actually don't think at all that he's checked out. I think Snead is pretty locked in. He's just trying to overextend and be a little too aggressive at this point. He's not making adjustments as he gets older the way players have to, like Tyler Lockett, who has extended his career by not taking hits, by understanding what are my physical limitations. So I think that's what's going on with Snead. I disagree on how he's gotten to this point.
Man, I'll tell you this, though. That caller's asking for a women's flag football team. No, absolutely not. I got a team they can play, though.
What's that?
What a horn at Jayhawk. Hey, real quick, man, I mentioned it earlier. I want to get a major shout out to the TW Hunter Bucks, man. 4 straight county championships in a row. Real quick, Jackson, Garrett, Crew, Big Miles, Cal, a.k.a. Cal Weezy, William Lee. We got one of them on our team. Hey, we got Ryder, Briar, Colton, Grayson, CJ, JJ, Big Aiden, Lil Aiden, Bo, Powers, Brantley, Little Miles, Trace, Ryan, Tate, Hayes, Hennessy, a.k.a. Hen Dog, okay? Gerald Cena, because you can't see him, all right? Damari, anybody else I forgot? Little Cena, man, that's my dog, man. Shout out to little Eli, too, man. But, of course, Coach Long, man, Coach Butler, Coach O'Neal, Coach Mash should be Coach of the Year. How you win county 4 times in a row and not get Coach of the Year, man? He won't say that. I will. But of course, shout out to the guys, man, big time. Dr. Lovett, man, appreciate you guys also for welcoming me in. But one time for the guys that won last night. Double overtime, middle school game last night. Absolutely lost my voice. One of the most electric games I've seen in a youth football game before, man. So real cool stuff. I could play the game or play the audio for you, how the crowd went wild. Insanely good. We lost earlier to that team in the season and came back and beat them in the championship, too. But, again, I'll say it again. Coach Mash should have at least gotten one of those Coach of the Years. He's yet to get it, and he won't say it, but I will. And, Coach Mash, you ain't got to take up for yourself. I got you here.
I love it.
Congrats.
So that is 11-year NFL veteran, Vol for life, SEC East winner, over a decade in the NFL, Vol Network analyst, important person for the NFL PA, and championship-winning assistant middle school football coach. Ramon Foster.
Put it on my LinkedIn.
Yep. If you want to address Ramon, you got to use all those bullet points. 615-737-1045. Is Cam Ward regressing? And how much damage can be done to his development this season? How worried are you about what you're seeing from the Titans quarterback? You hear from offensive coordinator Nick Holtz as well on that coming up next.
Synergex and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. They've been changing the lives of men across the country for over a decade. Since starting, a lot of other players have entered the field, but Synergex and Low T Center are the pros providing you with the most medically driven, results-focused, and winning approach to restoring the quality of patient lives through hormone care. Just talk to some of their clients, man, and they will tell you TRT with Synergex and Low T Center have significantly changed their lives. So don't wait, man. Get into a center and get your testing done, man. You'll be wishing you did it sooner. I promise you that. And we all know this, too, that testosterone replacement therapy does for men. We know what it does, but did you also know it benefits women as well? Women experience many of the same symptoms of men with low testosterone, like tiredness, no energy, mood swings, low libido. So women, come in and get tested also, man. I tell you all the time, we worry about the outside of what's going on in our body. We also need to focus on the inside. But can you imagine what your life be like when you take it back? Again, restore your energy like a pro and get on with the rest of your life. Book your appointment now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Do you have a plumbing issue at home? Maybe you're thinking through right now, you're thinking through all the levels, all the rooms. Yep. Got one. Whether it's that leaky faucet, a clogged drain, or a water heater that's gone cold, the plumbing professionals at Lee Company have your back. Available 24/7 year-round, Lee Company's licensed technicians can save you time, money, and all the stresses that come with an ill-timed plumbing issue. You can contact their award-winning team at leecompany.com, or you can call them 615-567-1000. I love that Lee Company is available 24/7. They're open year-round. They are available when something doesn't work the way that they're supposed to, because it always happens, right? During the busiest weeks, during the busiest days, you just call Lee Company. They're going to be out there quickly. They're going to fix things for you. They're going to be out the door, and it's going to be easy, fast, and efficient. You can contact their award-winning team online at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. So at 0-4 going into week number 5, there are correct reactions and there are overreactions. Many of you talking on social media and the F&F Bank chat to us, like, man, has Cam gotten worse? We're going to go through this and see if this is a reaction or overreaction. Has Cam Ward regressed to the first 4 weeks of the season? Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Ramon, do you see Cam Ward developing bad habits right now on the heels of a 26-0 defeat to the Houston Texans?
I won't say bad habits. Heck, he looked like the young fella we saw playing in college for the most part. What I will say is I feel like he's developing a gotta-go-get-it attitude and playing outside of himself a little bit more than he should right now. That's the only thing I feel like he's doing that, to be honest with you, is a little bit of a detriment to the team from time to time. Like the way he was throwing the football and the shots that he took across his body that were like 3 and 4 yards short or 2 and 3 yards over guys. And you saw him trying to, I feel like as hot as his football is coming out, the heat in which he's trying to make it happen is causing it to actually take away from the good that he is as a quarterback. I think he's trying a bit too hard, if you're asking me.
Sure.
And if that creates bad habits, then, well, yeah, or make him go backwards, then yeah, will. But I don't see that being the case. This is just him trying to do more.
There are a lot of opinions on this. I think there are some overreactions because 4 weeks is not a big enough sample size to say anyone has gotten necessarily better or worse. Quarterback development is not linear. There's not a straight pathway towards, all right, you're going to master math 120. Then you're going to go to 140. Then you're going to take this next. Then you're going to move up to 200 level. Like, there are steps backward in the process of becoming a better quarterback. That is just that, a part of becoming a better quarterback. Brian Callahan was asked about this on Monday when he met with the media, and the head coach had this to say.
I think it would be hard to put a regression tag on 4 starts. I think that would be tough. I think he's learning every time he goes out there. I thought there was some really incredible moments over the second half of the Indy game with the amount of things that he saw, how he responded to them, the management of it, knowing where the answers are, understanding how to protect himself, understanding where the ball needs to go. I think there's definitely, he's got to keep improving. There's always the timing and accuracy portion of the passing game tied in with the footwork that are all kind of things we continue to work on. It's hard to play quarterback in the NFL, and he's had to learn some tough lessons, I think. But he's also incredibly willing and incredibly passionate about trying to do things the way that you need to do it. He's understanding what it takes to play NFL quarterback. And again, through 4 games, he's seen a lot of different things in 4 games. The schemes, the rushers, the style, the defenses that we played, all very different, all very good. And he's only going to get better every time he sees those things.
You talk about the timing. Does it have more to do with getting the ball out or timing with receivers? Where is the timing right now?
It's all of that, and some of it's depending on the play. It's not a one time thing or an all the time thing. There's spots where within a concept of just understanding when to move on, how quick to move on, where to progress, what's the next thing, and how fast does that have to happen. So all of those things are things that it's constantly going to be coached, and you don't just arrive in the NFL a perfect product like that. And but man, he puts the time into it. He works at it, and he understands it. And now it's just to continue to build on the things that he's done well and to keep stacking that stuff.
It felt like yesterday his accuracy and maybe ball security was a little off from previous weeks. Mm-hmm. Do you have to guard against that when you're not scoring points against an offense, you're not winning games, that a young quarterback in particular tries to do too much and do it all on himself?
I think that's a great way to put it. You always, that's a lot of players. It's a lot of players that know they can be really impactful in games, and they get into moments where they feel like they need to do something other than what's asked of the job. Whatever that coverage or play or what's asked of them to do in that particular down. You always have to be mindful of that, and especially at the quarterback position, because you do feel at that spot some pressure to do more when really that's not what we need. from a down-and-down basis from Cam. We just need him to do his part as one of the 11 guys in the field. And, again, got to do things around him better too. But you always want to be careful of trying to do too much. It's usually when bad things happen, when you try to make a bigger play or a more exciting play because you think you have to.
That's Brian Callahan speaking on Monday. What stands out to you there, Ramon? Because to me, I find it interesting. The messaging is, let's be a part of the 11. Yeah. When a lot of the good things that Cam has done have been outside of the script and the scheme of what he has been given. Like, there's not an easy fix to this, is there?
No, it's not. It's not a quick fix to it more than anything. They have no real methodical process that they've seen work for him, for this team, for them to say, yeah, we'll go back to that. The same way Dinard Wilson in the last work we said he was going back to the basics. Like, they know what basics are on that side of the ball. They can get back to that because they've done good in those moments right there. They just need to do more of it. The offense can't say that. They're not in a position to say, we're going back to the basics. Y'all hadn't even established that part of it.
Yeah, what are the basics?
Yeah.
Right.
It's not even they don't have that. So Callahan's right. 4 games is too soon to say Cam has gone backwards. Here's the thing. He's a rookie. This entire year is going to be a learning curve for him in general. That is part of the offseason conversation where we spoke about this. He needs a run game to help support him. He needs an offensive line to make him comfortable. He needs. There was a whole lot of that because there's a lot that Cam hadn't seen. Heck, as an offensive lineman playing in this league, there was so much stuff that I hadn't seen, I hadn't heard of, I had never thought I'd be a part of when I joined an NFL offense because the defenses, whether they're showing it to you or disguising it, are very complex. I want to go to a guy that everybody knows and love here in this state. Well, most of us. Peyton Manning had a bad rookie year, right? Like, there are guys who have historically had moments that were bad that got better going into year 2s and stuff like that. We're watching now Sam Darnold be beloved. Baker Mayfield be beloved for how much he's grown and how much they've learned that comes with time. So I do agree with Callie there. Now, the other side for this conversation that Callie brought up to me is the pressure to do more, right? And my I guess point is, who makes who with Cam this year? Does Cam make the wide receivers or do the wide receivers make him? And that's where the problem lies to me with a lot of this. And what I mean by this, it shouldn't be expected on Cam Ward to come in and be the football god that people think he was going to be. GAWD. You know what I'm saying? Like, he shouldn't be expected to do that. If you get that from him, awesome. But again, he hasn't had a whole lot of experience in this offense. He doesn't understand as much as you want to believe NFL defenses. So I charge the guys that are supposed to be assisting him. I say the play caller, most definitely, put him in a position where he can win. But also, how many of these wide receivers are able to get open? How many of them are catching the football when he throws it to them? Hot or not, right? If the ball is coming out with a lot of heat, it don't matter. You catch it to assist him. Because if you make your plays, you give him more confidence on being able to do the stuff that he's good at too. Right now, his wide receivers aren't helping him enough to be good.
I think it's fair. I think there is not going to be a point this season where we get a 100% definitive answer on Cam Ward, his development, and his overall success as a Tennessee Titan long-term. Like, that answer is going to happen in real time over the first 2 to 3 seasons of Cam Ward being the Tennessee Titans quarterback. It is way too early to me to make any kind of definitive statement that the Titans made the wrong decision in drafting Cam and not trading back. We are not close to that point yet. And I don't think we have enough of a sample size to say, oh, Cam's regressing and Cam's getting worse. Again, like I said, because it's not a linear process. We still are getting people, Ramon, who are making the point, and in the F&M Bank chat this morning, there's another one saying, well, we just owe apologies to Will Levis. You owe apologies to what happened last year because this just looks the exact same. It doesn't look the exact same. It really doesn't.
No.
And you are not afforded the same luxuries in Levis in year 2 as Cam Ward is, and the same grace that he gets as a rookie, A, because Cam is more talented, and B, because Cam is just that, a rookie. Yeah. And secondly, too, Cam has not had 8 turnovers through the first 4 games of the season the way Levis did. He has not ruined the good you've done on defense by sidearming the football to the other team. Yeah, he sidearmed the football to Elikai Manor that got intercepted that hit the receiver in the hands. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about a play to a Bears defender that hit the Bears defender between the numbers. So let's not make those the same thing and say that I'm biased just because I'm a Tennessee fan and I hate Will Levis because I went to Tennessee. That's lazy. Very lazy. So that's what we're not going to do this morning. But, Ramon, I do think there is a legitimate question to be had here. We keep asking it every week. We keep talking about it. How do you put a quarterback in the best position to be successful when that quarterback's best moments are not schemed? That's the challenge. And that was the challenge for Shannon Dawson at Miami. That was the challenge, I think, for coaches at Washington State and Incarnate Word. You've got to give Cam the tools to operate within a backyard football world. Because right now, Ramon, I think the Titans, on paper, today, October 1st, 2025, best way to be successful is 12 personnel, run the ball, Tony Pollard left, Tony Pollard right, ground and pound, and then take your shots. But that's not in the best interest of Cam Ward's long-term development. Because if this season, Ramon, is about Cam Ward getting better, some of what you have to do makes you really uncomfortable as a play caller, and it's probably going to make Cam Ward really uncomfortable because he is getting used to the speed of the game in terms of what can I get away with creating off script.
Okay.
So I think right now, Ramon, this is where the issue lies with the Titans offense. You are left in a, do I do the best thing for this offense right now at the hindrance of developing my quarterback? Or do I try to just keep giving Cam the tools and the ability to say, run around and create? Because your best moments are running around and creating, but unfortunately so are your worst moments, where you're taking sacks, you're taking hits, you're bailing out of the pocket too quickly, you're not getting to your checkdowns. Like, if I'm making Cam Ward, hey, Chig was open here if you check it down. Okay, well, that may be true, but what about the one play out of every 3 or 4 where Cam doesn't check it down and then finds Alec for a 33-yard gain? It's a really difficult, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't right now, if you're Nick Holtz, Bo Hardigree, and Brian Callahan.
I differ just a little bit for you on that one. And I think your point is right. Like, that's who he is naturally. But I feel like right now with the lack of fear that this offense imposes on other defenses, you almost have to go to 12 personnel, run them at this point. You have to soften the blow and allow them to either shrink the pocket so that Cam can get wide, can get outside, and make those plays that you want down the field too. And again, the issue that they've had through the first 4 games is there's been no flow of consistency of maintaining drives where you can go get scores throughout the entire 4 quarters of games. I do think, to your point, Tony Pollard should be culprit 1 right now. He should have the ball more times than anybody else on the field. The wide receivers aren't catching it, can't get open the way you want them to. It needs to go through him so that they will have a threat. Right now, the threat that you have is something that teams are willing to allow you to do. They are almost, I feel like, watching the games, allowing Cam to go outside, throwing the balls, like having the ability to keep his eyes down the field, because now looking at what Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, they can close out on him. It's hard throwing the football under duress the way he's doing it time and time again. Then there's also the other side of it. More times than not, when he's running outside the pocket, he's going to get tired, so the next play is going to be a handoff. That's what I expect. Anytime a quarterback gets a big run, he's not going to roll out. He's not going to do anything to where he is going to run again. They're probably going to hand the ball off, and that's where it really plays against your offensive line and the guys up front. We came into this season, and where they won me over with the idea that they're going to take a step was the investment of the offensive line. We have yet to see those guys rise up to the occasion and make the plays and move the line of scrimmage consistently enough that would allow him to get outside, to be eccentric, to be dynamic down the field. That's the issue that I have with wanting to start them out rolling. They have to, at some point. I'll ask you this, and where's the threat on Sundays for this offense?
The threat for this offense is Cam Ward making guys miss and chucking it downfield as the play breaks down.
That's not normal, though.
No. It's hard to live that way, isn't it?
It's so hard.
So the question becomes, how do you give Cam Ward those opportunities more while also simplifying the reads and giving him the tools to hit some singles? To me, it's a lot of what they did against Indy. It's play action and moving the pocket. That, I think, is where the Titans have to find more success and rhythm in the pass game. Can you set up a lot of those bootlegs and set up opportunities for Cam to run and already get him on the move to where, again, for right now, while he learns how to play within a system and within the context of structure and scripts, can you make it an easier decision for him of pass or run or deep?
The issue is, though, if we go back to that Colts game, is you mentioned what they were attempting to do as far as play action. You still have to be able to run the football. Now, they were attempting, I felt, to do more in that game as far as running the football, but what was it? They still ended up giving up 4 sacks.
Right.
Like, you're right. Like, you have to run the football. That game plan of trying to work side to side, the cross-field routes that they were able to run.
Transcontinentals.
You get more of those. You get more of those when you also have the fear of they're going to run the football right here. Right. That way the linebackers suck up.
Well, and to be fair, like, I don't think the middle of the O-line has been bad in run blocking.
It's the pressure. You're right. I mean, that early sack right there don't help either. You're right.
Like, honestly, and we got a comment about that saying, well,
my boys,
the line, saying the line can't get any push. I would push back on that. I think the line is getting some push in the run game. I think the tackles are struggling against fast rushers around the edge. Yeah. But through the middle, the Titans are able to run north and south a little bit right now. So allow that to open up things for you.
And then you also got behind the 8 ball with the pick six and with the Colts too.
Which is why, again, you took the ball in order to give yourself a fast start and play with a lead for the first time. The Titans have not been able to play with a lead yet, other than a field goal lead in Denver.
As Daniel in the chat said, we need Latham back.
Yeah, you do.
You do, but
you definitely do.
I'll always say, like, the backups got to do their job too. And I know they're not the starters. But, like, I'm looking at the dudes, especially John Ojukwu, who's been here, and I don't want to, the
state of backup line play on all 32 teams has never been worse. Never been worse.
And I feel like of the 32, it's been the worst here.
I saw somebody tweet the other day, I think it was Jeff Schwartz, who said, we used to have this thing called training camp.
Yeah.
Where you would hit guys and be physical, and you developed linemen in this thing called training camp. Yeah. It was a crazy concept. Like, how do linemen get better, Ramon, without playing football? Perhaps. Because linemen are playing less football in the preseason and training camp than ever before in terms of their level of physicality. And same thing in college. Mm-hmm. We're taking physicality out of the game for practice players. What do you expect to happen?
And then you beg for physicality.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. So that's not a Titan-specific issue. That's a problem that a lot of teams are having in the National Football League right now.
And the other part is know your type. I think Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon is the guy they prefer there, but he's just young. I'm not sure if he's ready yet, because if you look at JC, right, Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon is the exact same thing, except tall, a little bit more lean. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, slender. That to me is crucial. That those guys, like, I hate having to talk like this, but, like, I hate guys that squander opportunities that are given them. Like, you are a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Your ability to answer the call has to be as soon as the lights turn on. And it's embarrassing to see these dudes go out there and be the reason why you lose.
Right. Yeah, we got a comment in the F and Bank chat saying, I'm just waiting for Nashville radio to apologize for the way they have treated Levis when it all along has been the coaching and not the player.
Tell your cousin to apologize to him. We ain't apologizing here. You put a product out there on the field that sucks, we're going to say that it sucks. Like, there's no other way around it. Nobody told him to flip the ball backwards. Nobody told him to go on this national campaign to make himself more notable and having high expectation of what he is as a player. Like, your tape is your walking, breathing resume. If he goes somewhere and become better, good for him too. Sam Darnold did it.
Yeah, right.
Baker Mayfield did it. Others have gone and recreated their careers in other places. In this world of professional sports, there are no apologies. As I like to say, that's what the money's for. There is no need to apologize for people for sucking. You get cut because of that. This is the National Football League. There's only 1% of people that do that. Can y'all cut the Levis apology thing? Like, I get it. Even I said, okay, maybe there's something there because the team isn't strong. But you also have to either be a player that rolls the boat in the same way or you elevate people. Which one did he do? He damn sure didn't roll in the same direction. And did he elevate anybody? Absolutely not. You get what you deserve in sports, and there's no other way around that. Do some coaches suck? Yes. You know what you do? You play above bad coaching. That's just how the game goes right there. There's been times people have been without their star players. And you know what you do? You rise up in those moments. Nobody told him to campaign the way he did and have these high expectations like that. Franchise or not, you get what you deserve in professional sports and in sports in general.
It's well said.
Overcome coaching.
Levis's issues weren't coaching issues either. Nobody's coaching him to sidearm the football to the other team every week and to turn it over every week. That's not a scheme thing. Cam Ward is struggling within the scheme to understand how to play NFL quarterback. He gets time to learn how to do that. That's different than your DNA being turnovers and sacks. Very different. That was not a scheme issue of, Will Levis is learning how to play NFL quarterback. No, he was in his second season and knew how to do it and would show you and then would just throw the ball to the other team. And clearly that could not be coached out of him.
No doubt.
Coming up, your phone calls. Are you worried at all about Cam Ward's performance in Houston? Where are you at relative to your preseason expectations on the Titans quarterback? 615-737-1045. You'll hear from Nick Holtz about how he evaluates Cam Ward through 4 weeks as well, coming up next. Relocating in Middle Tennessee is a big challenge. Yes, this is a hot city, but no, that does not mean you got to just go with that national agent who doesn't know you, doesn't know the area, doesn't know your goals. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Bernie Gallerani Realty is who you need. For Lisa, selling her home of more than 20 years felt overwhelming. She was recovering from surgery, living alone, and unsure how to take the next step. That's when Bernie Gallerani Real Estate stepped in. With compassion, guidance, and just the right amount of encouragement, the team helped her prepare, host open houses, and in just a matter of weeks, she had a strong offer on the table. Lisa walked away with a financial outcome she wanted and the chance to purchase a condo near her son, all in the same day with no loans required. What could have been a stressful situation turned into a smooth, life-changing experience. So if you're ready to buy or sell and you want a team that knows how to deliver results while treating you like family, call my good friend Bernie Gallerani at Bernie Gallerani Real Estate today. Who says there are no guarantees in life? Check out Bernie Gallerani's 30-day guaranteed sale program at BernieGallerani.com. He guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or he'll buy it from you. You can call Bernie on his personal cell phone, 615-428-2644, or you can head online to BernieGallerani.com. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the first half of your Wednesday morning. Nick Kelly of AL.com talks Alabama-Vanderbilt with us at 8:20. Rhett Bryan at 9 o'clock. Your phone calls throughout the morning. Are you worried about Cam Ward at all? Have your feelings and expectations changed through 4 games? Let's go to Charles up next to the phones talking Titans this morning. What's up, Charles?
Hey, I just, one thing I'm thinking about when we're looking at this, and we're talking about Cam, and like you guys were saying, he's a rookie. This O-line's been a problem forever. I mean, you can't throw the ball when you're laying on your back. We got to fix that. You got to fix it. It's like Brady used to say, man, it don't matter what it looks like on the outside, it's what's under the hood. We don't have anything under the hood. When people start asking questions about what are we good at and we can't answer that, that's a big problem.
Yeah. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it, Charles.
It's fair. I mean, I just think there is some blame that also falls on Cam for holding the ball too long on a lot of these sacks.
He does do that.
I don't think the offensive line is as bad as the sacks they have given up statistically.
And just to add to that, too, my biggest thing that I'm at is like the evaluation of what you want this O-line to look like. I think they're trying to get it. It's unfortunate JC got the growing thing going on, whatever it is for him.
Agreed.
But like that cohesion, we spoke about it. They've had zero time to grab that. JC immediately out. Then his musical chairs ever since. Not to give an excuse, because again, I'm saying this. Guys who are backups have to step up in these moments. Like the personnel side of it, it's fair to ask those questions, though.
Right.
I'm with Charles. Like, it's fair to ask, like, what are you looking for in a guy?
Titans offensive coordinator Nick Holtz spoke yesterday. These were his thoughts on Cam Ward through 4 games.
Well, he's the personality. We'll start with that. That the competitiveness. He is not gun shy in any way, shape, or form. He's not beaten down in any way. Or whatever. By being 0-4, I think you see that, and you see how much he cares and how much he puts into this. That's been good, and he's processing something new every week. So you look, and there's play 4 very kind of different defenses, and he's gotten kind of a whole different experience each week of how it's gone. So I think having him go through those, experiences, and then the way he takes and the way he looks back, and he's good on Mondays, and every other day that he comes in of, okay, I saw this. Here's what's keep talking about it, and all those things keep coming up. And so I think we really like where he's going.
So Nick Holtz was asked about Cam Ward in the context of how is he adjusting? And Nick Holtz made a comment and said part of the reason Cam Ward's college success hasn't translated is that the NFL is very different, and he is learning that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people took that out of context and made that about, he's throwing Cam under the bus. Nobody's throwing Cam under the bus. The question was about how hash mark speed and spacing, how, again, context matters in press conferences. Like, the answer is an answer to a question. It's not just a speech that you're giving about something. Like, there is a question that prompts what these comments are about. And Nick Holtz made a comment saying the hash marks, the speed, and the spacing are different. He's getting used to how different things are in the NFL. Why, Ramon, and break that down for us, if you will, why hash marks and the width of the field can make a difference for a quarterback like Cam Ward?
The NFL puts you in real close proximity to each other, meaning the hash marks are closer, meaning you got to play more in the middle of the field, meaning your guys are better suited to be in one-on-one situations or schematics of the defense, whether you're on the right hash or the left hash or up the middle. It's tighter. That tightness doesn't give you the entire right side of the field to work with. You got a defender that's close in proximity to you in those moments right there. So his adjustment to that has to play a part in it too. Everything's more down the middle. Look at NFL fields on game day. The middle of it is usually messed up. And that's because, again, they set it up to be more competitive. That amount of space that colleges use, i.e. the Vols offense, Mississippi State, or any team, you can create so much if you're on the left hash over to the right side. That's a lot of space. That's a lot of, hey, if my guy just beat him on a quick in route, there's nobody there. Well, in the NFL, there's a safety down the hash mark. Mm-hmm. There's a linebacker that can drop into the deep thirds in the NFL because the hashes are close. Adjusting to that part of it, which is why if you look at Cam's tape, they'd be on the left hash. I think it may have been the Duke game or somebody where he was on the left hash and he has the ability to roll all the way to the right and spend time with it and allows receivers to come back over to him.
You've got more time to run horizontally and find options, or just run.
It's so much space.
Right.
So much time. You don't have that luxury in the NFL. Like a corner blitz happens fast. A corner blitz in college, that guy got to come all the way down.
Right. It's easier for the defender to declare what they're doing than it is in the NFL, where it's easier to bluff and say, oh, I can be split out here over the wide receiver because I don't have to cover as much ground to blitz.
Exactly.
Right. It's harder to decide who's doing what pre-snap.
Exactly. And the NFL won it that way because it's more competitive and it's the best of the best.
For sure. So, yeah, Terry McCormick was one to put that out and said from Nick Holtz, part of the reason Ward's college success hasn't translated is that the NFL is very different and he is learning that. A fan responded on Twitter and was mad about that. Of why is he throwing him under the bus? Why not put him in the same scheme, same situations? And Terry followed up and said he was talking about the hash marks, speed, and spacing and how they are different from college.
Yeah.
The context of that answer. We'll go rapid fire on the phones, get to more of your thoughts. Mark, Chuck, and Andrew are next. 615-737-1045 as the second half of your Wednesday morning starts next.
8:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tonight, an exciting one as Nashville Soccer Club takes the pitch in search for both the club's and Tennessee's first major professional sports championship. The boys in gold are in Texas taking on Austin FC for the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final. This will be just the fifth all-time meeting between the two clubs. Nashville holds the slight advantage in the series with 2 wins, 1 loss, and a draw. First kick tonight at 7 p.m. at Q2 Stadium in Austin, Texas, and you can watch the match live via Paramount Plus or on the CBS Sports Network. You can also join Nashville SC's official Open Cup final watch party at Geodis Park's Public Plaza that begins at 6 p.m. tonight. In the NFL, some breaking news this morning. The Cleveland Browns are making a change at quarterback as they are benching veteran quarterback Joe Flacco in favor of rookie Dylan Gabriel, the third-round pick out of Oregon. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski met with the team this morning and informed the team of the change. ESPN's Adam Schefter first with the report. And the Tennessee Titans are back on the practice field today for the first time this week as preparations begin for Sunday's matchup against the Arizona Cardinals in Phoenix, Arizona. Head coach Brian Callahan will speak to the media before practice at 11:50 this morning, and quarterback Cam Ward will speak to the media after practice at 2:25 this afternoon. You can hear both of those pressers coming up later right here on 104.5 The Zone. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show in hour 3 getting started. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Coming up in 15 minutes, Nick Kelly of AL.com joins us breaking down Vanderbilt, Alabama. We got Chris Lee on yesterday for the Vandy perspective. Today, we get the Alabama perspective on a program that is ascending at the right time, heading into SEC play. Big win over Georgia. Nick will give us the latest out of Tuscaloosa coming up here at 8:20. You can hop in the F&M Bank chat. No line there to give your thoughts. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. That's where we stream the show live for you on 104.5 The Zone TV. Shall we go back to the phones, Ramon Foster?
Yes, we should, man.
Let's do it. Talking about Cam Ward and the Titans, we go next to Chuck. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, fellas. Ramon Foster,
Yes.
My hands are up, my hat's off. Power to you, brother. Now, you came from Pittsburgh Steelers to Nashville. You graduated from the university that I love very much. Y'all trying to give me some mixed emotions this morning. I like the winning up there on the hill now, which no comparison to what I'm fixing to say.
Okay.
Now, my mixed emotions is y'all trying to get me to go from the team I love to the worst team in the NFL. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Don't apologize.
I'm sorry about
Don't
that.
apologize.
No, I'm not going to apologize anymore. I'm just going to say it like it. Sometimes truth hurts. People need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ain't winning, you're doing what? Oh, you're right, Ramon, losing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't developing the players to play the way you're preaching, maybe your preaching ain't developing what they're, maybe you saying, maybe they're saying what they're wanting to do, but not showing them how to do it. Because it shows on the field, man. You know, if you go duck hunting, you're going to carry a shotgun.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can kill a duck with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Because it's a scattergun.
The buckshots.
Now, if you go deer hunting, you ain't gonna. You might be able to kill a deer with a shotgun, but you're gonna have to get 5 feet from it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to kill a deer and you see it off about 300 yards, you're gonna have a scope and a rifle.
Tell it.
And here it is right here. If you ain't hitting targets, and if you're doing too much show boating, maybe what you talked about, what that caller talked about earlier, I think his name was Charles. Yeah, I agree with everything. Because around here, we like jury boxes.
Thank you, Chuck. We appreciate the call.
Chuck, I love to go deer hunting with you, Chuck. I promise you. Take me duck hunting, too. I heard Arkansas got some good duck hunting down there,
We got folks on the line, Chuck, so we got to keep the line moving.
I get what you're saying. You missed your target, Chuck. You need to just go on. We ain't putting nothing up on the panel this year.
I've learned not to take a shotgun buck hunting.
Deer hunting, yeah, you can't do that.
And
you take a shotgun rabbit hunting, though.
Sounds like he gets some good eating.
Yeah, Chuck, he ain't ever going to the grocery store for his turkey. No, he going right to the field.
You know what happens when you take a shotgun buck hunting?
What's that?
What people tell you? Oh, dear.
Oh.
Who's the next caller?
Say is the next caller. He is in Clarksville. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Mark.
Good morning, gentlemen. I love the show.
Thank you.
Just want to say, so one great thing about football is it is so deep with statistics and metrics that are able to be monitored and observed. So unfortunately, I went back and looked at some recent Titans rookie quarterback acquisitions, and all of them compare better than Cam Ward. Vince Young, Jake Locker, Marcus Mariota, and Will Levis all were far more productive through 4 games than Cam Ward is. The one area where he does stand out a bit is he takes care of the ball. He has less interceptions than most of those guys. But in terms of any other metric of productivity, he does not. And none of those guys had great O-lines or outstanding coaches particularly. So just wanted to say a little gloom and doom on a hump day.
Thank you, Mark. Here's the thing about that, though. 4 games is not enough sample size to dictate how successful a quarterback's going to be. Because, you got to think about who those quarterbacks are playing. Cam Ward has played the Rams defense, one of the best in the league. The Broncos defense on the road, one of the best in the league. He's got, I think, 21 new players who were not on the 53 for Week 18 last year who were on the active roster for the Broncos game. You've played a Colts team that was undefeated. So first of all, there's not enough sample size to be able to just make a blanket statement like that. And to Ramon, we talked about it all offseason. Like, Cam Ward's style is going to take time to adjust to the NFL. This is not the type of system and quarterback from a processing standpoint that was always going to come in and have a ton of success right away. But it's the raw talent and arm talent and escapability and things you can't teach that he can do that say, let me give you a year or 2 or 3 to figure out how to be an NFL quarterback. We don't base anyone's success in this league based off of 4 games. So yeah, he's been worse than some other starters. Okay. That's fine. It's way too early to say that he is the worst of the young quarterbacks that the Titans have had.
I'll ride with you there. It's a situation. Look at the 17 when it's done. That's the way it's got to be viewed. Also,
look at the 34 games when they're done. Like we're gonna be talking about after year 2 about, do we have enough time? Do we have enough sample size? Because odds are that's kind of when we really get an idea. Give me 2 years. Will Levis got 2 years. If we want to talk about giving him time, he got 2 seasons, 100%. At this point in Patrick Mahomes' career, he hadn't started a game yet. He was still sitting on the bench behind Alex Smith.
Jordan Love.
That's right. Let's go next to Andrew, who is in Portland. Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. It's been a while.
Has been a while.
So I've taken a step back and done a 30,000-foot view because, well, quite frankly, the Titans have lost my interest just because of how piss poor they've been. Here's the thing. This all started back with John Robinson. They said it was the roster, right? They fired John Robinson because of the poor draft decisions, et cetera. And didn't they turn around and fire Mike Vrabel saying it's the coaching? But Rand Carthon was there. They didn't get, any time to fix what they said was the original problem. Then they turn around and fire Rand Carthon. It's been like Amy Adam Strunk, Bert Nihill, and Chad Brinker have been driving in a roundabout, and they cannot decide what direction they want to go. Is it the roster? Is it the coaching? Is it X, Y, Z, right? So the way I want to look at this is look at the young talent. We just hired a new general manager who everybody was excited about. Nobody thought he would want to come here, but he's here. Look at the young talent. How are they performing? I can't tell you if Brian Callahan is a good coach or not. Why? Because he's got a lot of practice squad players on a team in the NFL. So I just wanted everybody to take a step back. I understand fan means fanatics, right? I get it. But take a step back, purchase NFL Red Zone, watch it the rest of the season, calm your emotions, and let's see what Mike Borgonzi can do with a continued roster. Because here's the thing, we're going to have the number 1 draft pick. We can trade it just like we did the year after Marcus Mariota was drafted and get a haul. And guess what that core did? It took us to the AFC Championship. So just be patient because, unfortunately, the ownership is not patient. So let's just kind of take a step back and see what happens here. That's what I got. So y'all
appreciate it, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate
it. It's an all call for the fans. Andrew said, y'all pipe down.
He did. Chris in Nashville next before we get to Nick Kelly on the other side. What's up, Chris?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I've coached a little football here and there, and to me, it just doesn't seem like Callahan wants to be a head coach. You know, some guys are better at assistants. You know, if it was me and my team is 0 and whatever, I'm putting foot to butt. I mean, there's no emotion on the sidelines. You know, everything is always calm. I just don't know if he wants to be a coach.
Yeah.
I'll sit back and listen.
Thank you, Chris. He wants to be a coach. He 100% wants to be a coach. Everybody wants to be a head coach who is an assistant. And I can promise you, I'm on the sideline. There is emotion on the sideline.
Yeah.
Just because Brian Callahan is a nice guy to the media and speaks in a way that normal humans do and not coaches sometimes in the media.
That's true.
Does not mean that he is unemotional. Like, Brian Callahan's getting after guys. He's getting after the refs. He is... I mean, I can hear what he's saying. I promise you. He wants to be a head coach. He is feeling the pressure, and he is still a rah-rah guy, even though he's a nice guy.
I can back you up on that.
You were on the sideline, too.
Seen it, yeah. Cal is not a pushover.
No. No.
At all, is what I would tell you. Now, the way you feel about him as a coach and then what he puts out there, I think the want and will to be a part of something good is there. Like you said, though, I will give you this, though. Like, the idea of how to do it is just a little bit different. Sometimes you got to grow. The issue is, I don't think he's going to get any time to grow as a coach, specifically not here and not in the head coaching role. He did something inside of that building to convince them that he's head coaching type. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a question we'll have to ask after the fact. What did he do to convince you that he was the guy? That's the... To me, for the fan base, like that's the answer you want.
Coming up, we will preview Alabama and Vanderbilt from the Bama perspective. College game day featuring the Vanderbilt Commodores this week. And we'll get the scouting report on the Tide from Nick Kelly of AL.com coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls, man. You can use the website right there. It's medicalhousecalls.com. I'm sure the way some of y'all are feeling right now about this football team or a football team, your football team, you need some help yourself, all right? Well, Medical House Calls will come to your house, your location, 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, man. They're available to you 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same-day appointments are available or next day guaranteed. If you want to go to the website, you can put this number in your phone right now and get in contact with them to set yourself up. 615-838-2375. That is the number that you need. Whether you're trying to get primary care and get your labs taken care of, to where you're just trying to see where you are, they can do that for you. They also do urgent care IV therapy and also can help you on with your medical weight loss issues that you're trying to get taken care of. But here's the thing. A lot of us don't like going to the waiting room or to the ER room or dealing with a room full of people that make you feel like you are getting more sick. Well, here's the thing. Everything from sicknesses, injections, injuries, in-home labs, testing, and more. The convenience of what they will be able to provide for you is right there at your fingertips. You can use the website to get it there. For a flat fee, you can get an evaluation, full exam, treatment plans, and prescriptions if you need them. Again, your time is precious, but so is your health, man. Medical House Call will offer you whatever you need so that you can get back to your original self. Again, website, medicalhousecalls.com. And make sure you tell them Ramon sent you.
Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. And hour number 3, Alabama and Vanderbilt. This weekend in Tuscaloosa, Ramon Foster, is the game of the weekend in college football. We are efforting Nick Kelly of AL.com is going to join us to give the Bama perspective on this game. But where is your level of optimism, Ramon, today for Vanderbilt having a chance to win this game?
I don't have it. I hope they both lose.
As you sport your new Tennessee hockey jersey this morning.
No doubt, man. The optimism for Vanderbilt and their fans is high. I talked to my kids about it. I talked to my middle school football players about it. Like, I've seen Vandy fans speak about this game as if they know they got a shot, man. Their ability to compete is, more than anything, is scary for other teams. You're used to teams being bad and being in a situation where you continually pile onto them, and then you realize, oh, they got some fight in them.
Yeah,
that I think, as far as optimism, I'm probably like 30-70. Vandy, like 30%, like into the idea that they can win. But the other side of that is, for me, is the other side for me is this. This is all still very new to Vanderbilt, right? Mm-hmm. This is new for Clark Lee. What kind of coach is he going to be? Because sometimes it's more than just your players on the field. Like, you walk into some situation, teams are just better. Mm-hmm. They're going to play better, too.
Sure.
Like, and that's where it's going to be fascinating to see how Clark Lee deals with this new era of Vanderbilt football.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's really interesting is these are two teams that are penalized often. And Vanderbilt's weakness coming into this game, going into a really hostile environment, it doesn't have to be fatal, but I do think it is something to monitor in this game. In terms of penalty yardage per game, Ramon, Vandy ranks 115th in college football this year. So Vandy this season, 71.2 penalty yards per game.
Jeez.
There are only 2 SEC teams that have more penalty yards per game this year, Texas and Texas A&M. That was a little bit of a concern for them against Utah State. Over the weekend, it was a defensive holding penalty that negated points on a safety, on a blocked punt. It's illegal contact, extending a drive. I think it was roughing the passer, extending a drive. In a hostile environment, a heavily penalized team at home is going to be even much more penalized if you don't clean that up.
Yep.
I think if I'm Clark Lee and I'm looking at ways that you have pathways to be successful in this game, and you have got to clean that up this week on the road.
Mm-hmm. You do. And the other part that's somewhat concerning too is Vanderbilt's lack of using their star players in moments, right? Like, it's been that side of it too. Like, Eli Stowers, like, how much more is he going to get?
I think a lot more. Because he's not played 4 quarters yet because he hasn't needed to.
You see what I'm saying? Like, them being able to press teams to force him into situations that they hadn't seen before. It's going to be unique, man. Bama, again, with how Vanderbilt has cruised with, I don't want to call them cake gang, because South Carolina was supposed to be good.
Sure.
Virginia Tech was supposed to be good, but everybody else you knew they were just going to cruise by. And legitimately wondering how Alabama's going to tech Vandy when they start to just go to Stowers, or they go to Junior Sherrill, right? Or they continue to run with Diego Pavia. There's a fine line still between how do you hit a quarterback and not. Does Kalen DeBoer have it in his back pocket to tell the referees, he's a runner, allow us to treat him like a football player and don't protect him like a quarterback? Mm-hmm. That gamesmanship right there being a part of it also.
I think the advantage for Vandy, if you're looking at the positives, Clark Lee will see advantages in this game coming into the week, is on third down. And if you look at how Vanderbilt upset Alabama last season, Ramon, it was extending drives and being absolutely terrific in third down offense. Vanderbilt this season has the 4th best third down offense in college football. They are converting 61% of their third downs.
Oh.
Only Navy, Missouri, and Utah have a better percentage there. Tennessee 16th in that category. Now, again, what is the level of opponent?
Mm-hmm.
Does Alabama have such a good front seven, such a good ability to get after Diego Pavia and hit Diego Pavia that they are the quality of defense that can reverse that stat? Maybe. But on the flip side, Alabama has a weakness in getting off the field on third downs. Alabama this season, the 99th ranked third down defense.
Bama defense?
In college football. They are allowing 42% conversions on third downs. Opponents have converted 19 of the 45 third down attempts. And that's where Alabama lost to Florida State. Mm-hmm. That in Tallahassee as well. Their inability to get off the field, and Tommy Castellanos creating plays with his legs.
So that's interesting that you bring that up. Like, when I think about Alabama, I still think about their defense more than anything. And that's probably just the history of what Nick Saban's provided for them, right? Like, it's that side of it for me. But Alabama chose to go in the opposite direction. They went offensive and brought in Kalen DeBoer. The offense being what it is and the defense being that far apart, though, is kind of shocking to me, considering the players that they have. So I do wonder if it does get tight, can Alabama outscore people more than stop them?
Right.
That's the issue that they're really going to have against Diego Pavia and almost anybody else they got left on their schedule. That's a hard take right there.
Because if you can extend some drives and even if it doesn't end in 7, which I do think you're going to have to do, obviously. It's a cliche. These are games you got to win with 7s, not 3s.
Yeah.
However, just making Bama tighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
And being able to go on some 5, 6, 7-minute drives and keep that defense out there. You start leaning on them, and some of those runs that are going for 5 and 6 yards in the first half can be going for 15 and 16 yards or more in the second half. And with Cedric Alexander and MK Young, I mean, Vandy's been able to break some explosive plays in the run game this season with that remade offensive line.
Yep.
But just that ability to start fast and force Ty Simpson to beat you.
What's interesting is this
is a big deal.
Yeah, so forcing Ty Simpson to beat him is super unique because we go back and look at the history of what this game was last time that Vanderbilt played them at home. Shocker is kind of what you call that game too, Will.
Last
the way
season?
Vandy, like a shocker. Like,
absolutely.
So it's unique that you bring it up. Vanderbilt controlled the ball. Do you know how long they had the ball last year?
I mean, 2/3 of the game, right?
42 minutes.
Yeah, right. That's the formula. Again, because what were they on third down?
They 12 of 18.
There you go. I think third down dictates the game, and I think Alabama's ability to create explosive plays in the pass game against the weakness of Vandy, which is the secondary, makes a big difference in the game. AL.com's Nick Kelly joins us now. We break down the Alabama perspective on this matchup this Saturday. What's up, Nick? How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. It's quite the week. We're seeing a ranked Vanderbilt team against a ranked Alabama team, so we're in different territory.
We absolutely are. When you look at this game for Alabama over the weekend, Nick, and you see just how they were able to overcome a lot of their road issues in Athens, what's the biggest positive you think today that Kalen DeBoer will take from the way his team played in Athens?
I just think resiliency. We hadn't seen it much on the road. A team that could punch, but wouldn't always punch back once the other team kind of responded and started swinging. But Alabama did. I mean, Alabama took what Georgia threw at them in the second half and kept going. It wasn't always as pretty, but it got the job done. And Alabama was able to get out with the win. And yeah, I just think that resiliency, we hadn't seen much from this team. And I think you're kind of seeing it translate to how they're approaching the season. It's not just that microcosm of like one play in a game. It's okay, they got punched against Florida State, and they're responding now.
Nick Kelly, AL.com, our guest. So when you look at then where this team has come since week 1, where has this Alabama team made the biggest improvement for you?
I would say offensive line is getting better and better. That's probably the difference that I've seen. I mean, I think it's still a work in progress, but the O-line against Florida State had some issues. I mean, they let some pressure off the edges. And then you look at, fast forward to now, Caden Proctor didn't give up any pressures against Georgia. He, of course, had the pretty epic reception in that game as well. But, yeah, I think across the board, they're still figuring out the kind of starting 5 they want to have, which has been interesting because they added more players to the rotation actually for this Georgia game. So they're still figuring that out. But I think overall the position has been improving. And we'll kind of see as they face tougher tests, just because I don't think Georgia had necessarily the toughest pass rushers they'll face all season.
Nick Kelly of AL.com is joining us this morning. Speaking of this the Vanderbilt-Alabama game. Nick, how much hangover of last year goes into this game that's been spoken of or that they feel with Vanderbilt coming in?
Yeah, it was interesting. The players kind of mentioned, hey, it's a new year, new teams, but then there was a little bit of, but you can't help but think about last year. You can't help but want to make sure that doesn't happen again. Was kind of the tone. Even Ty Simpson didn't play in the game, but he was on the team. He said, "We remember. We remember." That was what he kept saying. So yeah, I think they're not trying to let that infiltrate their minds too much. But I mean, they're human beings. They can't help but think about what happened in Nashville a year ago.
When you look at the matchup that they are, who's more important in this, Diego Pavia or Ty Simpson, with who's going to have to win the game? Because offensively, this is Kalen Boer's calling card, is offense. But Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia, like he is rowing the boat when you look at what Vanderbilt is as a university, I feel like. So who do you think is the most important going into it?
Yeah, man. I mean, like right now in this state, Diego's kind of the Vanderbilt villain is what I've kind of been calling him this week, because whether it's Alabama or Auburn, he just has had kind of had his way with those two teams. So, I think that Diego's probably more important, I guess. I mean, to be honest, they're both pretty darn important for both teams. But I think if Diego is doing what he did a year ago, what he's done this year for Vanderbilt, Alabama's defense has had trouble at times with mobile quarterbacks who can use their legs. And you look at their struggles also against the run at times defensively. So if Diego's clicking, if he's doing what he can do, I think that it could be a long day for Alabama, and we could be in for a shootout.
Nick Kelly, AL.com, our guest. So, Nick, where do you see the biggest advantage for Alabama in this game? We just got done talking about, from the Vandy perspective, their third down offense was maybe the biggest reason why they were able to pull that upset off last season here in Nashville. What is the weakness in Vandy that you feel like Alabama exploits well in this game?
That's a good question. I need to honestly study their defense more, but to me, the biggest strength Alabama has in just about every matchup this year is its passing game, and specifically its receiving core against just about anyone. I mean, and Ryan Williams is on. He, of course, dropped that touchdown against Georgia, but he's the best player on the roster. And you look at Jeremy Bernard, who's been inconsistent, or he's been consistent, I should say, not inconsistent. He's been very consistent. He's been very reliable, making plays. And so you have him, you have Isaiah Horton, who they added from Miami, who's just kind of that big receiver, a little bit Roma Dunze type. I'm not saying he's quite playing at that level, but he's that big receiver that they like having the offense. And they have some other younger guys, too, that these guys can win matchups. Ty Simpson right now is seeing the field really well. And so I don't care really who your defense is. I think most are going to have trouble if Alabama's receivers are playing the way they are, especially with Ty Simpson in sync.
Nick, what differences have you noticed in Kalen DeBoer this season versus last season? And maybe there's that narrative out there that he had to adjust some of what he did in order to just not have a mass exodus of the portal in year one. Have you been able to tell a big difference in just the way he's related to his team, related to you all in the media, and the way he's kind of carried about this program? Or is that maybe an overestimated talking point from us that aren't there locally?
Yeah, I think there's the narrative that he's kind of been sitting on his lawn chair, just, watching practice kind of thing. That's his style, because folks don't see him yelling at the same level that Nick Saban was. My understanding is he gets after guys when they mess up or when they don't do something right in practice. We just don't see it. And so I think people go off what they can see. But I do think there is a bit of a switch in that last year was so much about retention, to your point, and it was about just balancing, okay, we're trying to pull off this historic transition. You got a lot of players who came here to play for someone else, to play for not just someone else, but the greatest coach of all time, arguably, in college football. And you got to try to keep them on board, try to balance, like, hey, I'm kind of this new guy coming in. So I think that, it was a balancing act. Kind of had to use some glue, duct tape, all that kind of stuff to be able to pull that off. But now I think they can have tougher conversations this year, and they can be a little bit more honest and be a little bit more calling guys out when they need to. So there is a little bit of a shift, but I think people have confused Florida State after that loss, that Alabama all of a sudden, or Kalen DeBoer specifically, is just turning on his best Nick Saban. No, I think that a lot of that's been there, but I do think he has a little bit more of an edge, and I think they've realized the gravity of the moment.
It's two types of scenarios going into this game. Vanderbilt, South Carolina's not what we thought they were, and Virginia Tech, they were overranked also. Vandy's kind of ascending with coming to Tuscaloosa. And I look at you guys having gone into Athens, and is there a level of Alabama being able to stay high and play at that level for the duration of the rest of this season? Because, again, it's a little bit different coming off of a high and beating Georgia in Athens like that. How do you see this coming into it for those two squads?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is a year ago, Alabama coming to this game was still undefeated. And they just secured that big win, had moved to number 1 in the rankings. So they're riding high. They hadn't had that loss to kind of level set them. This Alabama team had that right away. It had that embarrassing loss right away. So I don't know that Alabama's going to win out, but I think that certainly refocused them. And, yeah, I think that it'll be surprising. Vanderbilt could win. It's not that just because Alabama's aware and more locked in that Vanderbilt can't win. But if Vanderbilt wins, it's not going to be a result of Alabama overlooking them. That happened a year ago, kind of fool me once type of deal. I think it all comes down to, can Alabama stop Vanderbilt's run game? If they can, I think it could be a very good day for Alabama. But Alabama has struggled at times at stopping the run, as I've said. So we'll see what happens.
Nick Kelly, AL.com, our guest, previewing Alabama and Vanderbilt, the biggest game of the college football weekend involving the Vanderbilt Commodores. No matter how many times I say that, it doesn't get more comfortable to say or more recognizable. Nick, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. It's a fun one, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Wow. Love it. Good stuff. Nick Kelly, AL.com, with us this morning talking Vandy, Alabama. It's a good breakdown. That run defense is a big issue.
It is.
For Alabama, and they won in spite of it against Georgia.
Yeah.
If that happens again, and those are not explosive runs, but maybe 5, 6, 7 minute drives, as Nick says, that is the pathway to win this game for Vanderbilt. Running the ball in running situations on third downs.
Holding on to the football for 42 minutes make you go crazy.
Right. 100%. 100%. Makes you tighten up a little bit.
Yes, it does.
And I don't mean in the NFL context. Yeah. Alabama run defense-wise this season, 90th in college football. 160.5 yards per game.
That's so surprising. That's so surprising to hear. That is not what we're used to with them. Now, again, they went more offensive.
Right.
And if you can't go toe-to-toe or at least score quick as they do while holding the ball, you're losing. Ain't no other way around it.
615-737-1045. What has been the surprise of the NFL season so far, both positive or negative? Talk about that next.
It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors. Good people, man. Builders trust them, okay? And homeowners need to rely on them. And I'm telling them you do too, man. Jewel Roofing and Exteriors have been family-owned and locally trusted for 25-plus years. They're probably based in Middle Tennessee, too. Y'all know what it is, man. I enjoy local businesses, man. We need to be able to pour back into them as they pour back in us. Not the big name, big chain folks, man. They're serving communities from Clarksville to Murfreesboro. Robbie Van Norman is the owner of it, man, and he lives right here in Hendersonville with his wife and family, and truly inspired by helping this community. They're local, they're licensed and experienced also, and not just some out-of-town crew at all. They don't do knocks on your doors or chase storms. Instead, they build relationships. They educate homeowners like myself. Robbie told me a lot of stuff I need to know about my roof, what to look for. They educate homeowners, and they earn referrals through trust, man. Jewel Roofing and Exteriors is your long-term partner in protecting your home. Not a quick fix that disappears. Absolutely not. You can also get a free inspection that can help you catch some early signs of some stuff that is going on with your roof, from attic stains to shingle issues and even rising energy bills. They can help you with that. Again, for a roofer that you can trust, visit their website at jewelroofing.com. That's jewelroofing with 2 L's.com. It's Ramon Foster for All-American Pest Control, man. Fall in Middle Tennessee, cooler weather, football, family time. Listen to me, I love it. There is no better time of the year than fall. But you know who else loved this season? Pests, stink bugs, Asian lady beetles, mice, even termites. They don't slow down because it's just fall. No, that's why I trust All-American Pest Control. Their Complete Care Max program provides maximum protection season after season with one simple plan, man. It's a peace of mind every time. Call All-American Pest Control or visit their website at yuckbugs.com. That's yuckbugs.com. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, a 104.5 The Zone, locally owned Scooters in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon, what is the biggest surprise of the NFL season through 4 weeks so far?
It would have to be the quarterback situation in Indy, I think, in my personal opinion.
I think it's got to be, right?
Yeah.
I've got the same thing in terms of the best good surprise. Maybe not good for us here, but in terms of a team that has exceeded expectations.
Bad surprise?
Go.
Baltimore. Did not see that going away.
They have
no way
more injuries on defense.
Ooh.
I mean, it's incredible how banged up their two deep is on the defensive side of the football, but still, yeah, you're right.
Who knew Lamar would look like this? Like, the defense definitely is playing a part in it, but 1-3?
And no more Matabike for the rest of the season on IR. Season-ending IR.
They are at a point right now where they're asking for Harbaugh to be fired.
That's insane. that is clinically insane.
He got to go.
Who is asking that?
By the way, speaking of quarterbacks and people being let go, people were mad at Blake Shapen this past weekend, too. Did you see that on your algorithm?
I did not.
They were saying he sucked. They didn't want him as a quarterback.
I was too busy eating flour tortillas with Joseph Bonanno at Mama Ninfa's.
Yeah, but
celebrating.
That's by far one of the wildest takes I felt like I've ever heard was Blake Shapen. I thought he's a fine quarterback, man, but to your point about I didn't see Lamar playing this way, though.
It was kind of odd when they took him out, wasn't it, too? Because, like, he didn't go into the medical tent.
No.
And you had Jim Nantz and Tony Romo going, like, they just, like, took him out. He's not really getting medical attention, and then they give the hamstring designation after the fact.
Yeah, that's insane. Baltimore said the Ravens have already allowed 35 points in 3 games, tying the most 35-point games allowed in a single season in team history. I'm getting my words together.
Goodness.
I know.
Assist by Rhett Bryan, who's in here a little early.
Thanks, Rhett Bryan, and you smell good.
I love that. I'm not sounding the alarms on Baltimore to that level quite as much, just because of who they've lost to. I mean, their losses are still Buffalo, Detroit, and Kansas City.
But that's also their group.
It is.
That is their group, though.
It is.
Like,
it absolutely is.
They run with that pack.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
I think Houston's got bigger issues than what Baltimore has. I think Houston is broken on offense.
But I don't think Houston's also a contender the way Baltimore was expected to be one.
I think the expectations in Houston are to that level, yes.
You and I didn't have those expectations.
We did not.
No.
But I think more nationally and more in the city of Houston, I mean, that's a team that's 2-time defending AFC South champs at 10-7 who are thinking, all right, this is a championship level defense, which I will confirm that watching it in person. That is a championship level defense.
It is.
The Houston Texans have. They are a top 5 overall pick level offense. That offense is not good. 29th in scoring offense, 25th in total offense. They have 6 touchdowns all year. Some of the communication issues between the O-line and C.J. Stroud, and you got Diana Rossini making comments like there are going to be more things that'll come out soon about C.J. Stroud and that offense. 4 new starters up front. Christian Kirk has not been looking like the price tag that they paid to get him. Their positive, Ramon, is Woody Marks. Yes. I think Woody Marks had his coming out party against the Titans on Sunday. I think he is legit. But, man, I think they've got issues with the way that offense operates behind that middle 3. Jake Andrews at center has been fine, but those 2 guards are rough, and Ariante Ursery is learning on the job as a day 2 starter, day 1. That didn't make any sense, but bear with me. Left tackle. He was drafted on day 2, but he's a day 1 starter at left tackle. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
Usually, if you are a day 1 starter, it means you were drafted on day 1 of the NFL draft.
Very much so. And Cam Robinson's gone. I'm not sure if you just said that too. He got traded away.
He was a backup tackle. He was inactive on Sunday.
But they brought him in.
Might as well get something for him. I know.
You know what's funny, too, speaking of their offensive line? I laughed at their right guard that Jeff got the sack over.
Oh, my goodness.
The worst brain fart that anybody's ever had. But I also look at that and say, I don't even know if he wanted to block Jeff.
They literally parted like
they did. That was a busted play.
Yeah, 2 guys on the right side because 4 players blocked James Lynch, which Respectfully to James Lynch, I don't know if you need 4 guys to block James Lynch.
Pro Bowl.
You don't need 4 guys to block anybody in the NFL. I mean,
Aaron Donald, but he's not in the NFL.
Yeah, right. He is long gone. He is sitting on the couch. Yeah, Ed Ingram, the right guard, who, funny enough, is ranked as PFF's number 1 guard in the NFL to start the season.
See, this is why we can't get behind it. This is why you got the show from here, Will. You saying that ruined my day.
Well, you're taking tomorrow and Friday off.
I know, but I don't want to quit early. Like, I'm going to fulfill my hours on the job.
The guy got Rhett going. Well, Rhett's making fun of me because I bang on the table too much, like Dwight doing his speech at the Pennsylvania paper salesman convention every time I talk.
Say that line again for me slower because I got a Tennessee education. Yeah.
Ed Ingram is rated as an 85.6 PFF grade. He is rated as the number 1 guard in football by Pro Football Focus. A 90.6 run blocking grade.
One game
with a 55.4 pass block grade. Again, PFF is not a primary statistic. It is a secondary statistic. Got you torn up here.
I'm so thrown off.
Let's go to Larissa, who wants to check in on the phones. What's up, Larissa?
Good morning.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're good.
Long time no talk to you, gentlemen.
It's been too long. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Well, I mean, I didn't leave. I just haven't had the opportunity to call.
That's what they say when they break up with you, Larissa. You ain't got to lie to me. My number changed. Okay? My phone broke. I don't have social media anymore. Stop.
It's not you, it's me.
Oh, no.
It's not you, it's me.
Well, I'm so glad to speak to you guys again, and you guys are amazing. The show's still amazing. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I will say, I'm just going to want to piggyback. I'm sorry, you guys may hear my dog in the back.
That's okay.
But piggyback on a caller that earlier, I think his name was Andrew, in regards to like the surprise and the question you guys asked, and piggyback on what he was saying. I think that the Titans, this is what's really, it's a head scratcher because of the fact that you've got the talent. You've got the great fans. You've got, I mean, this is a great city, great state. And the talent is there. And it's not the lack of will for any coach or any player, but something is missing. It's the multi-billion-dollar question, whatever it is. And it kind of reminds me of like, and I think we've all done this, when you're making something that a loved one made that may no longer be with us presently, and you've got the recipe, you got all the ingredients, but it still doesn't taste the same. And I look at it with the Titans, everything's there, but something is missing.
Yeah.
And again, it's a head scratcher. So I think all the fans are fantastic and have every single right to go, what is this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I got nothing. But, you know, I'm going to always continue to support, and I think most fans will, but it is a head scratcher. But with that said, I'm going to be quiet and shut up and listen.
Okay.
Thank you, Larissa. Appreciate the call. Thank you for calling back.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted problem.
Yeah.
There's not one solution. And you're 100% right. It's not just the roster. It's not just the coaching. It's not just the play calling or just a rookie quarterback or just offensive line. It's all of it holistically together right now, which is both, a problem and I think a positive.
It's frustrating and it's everything.
You don't have one thing holding you back. I want to get to this real quick. We're going to go a little late here, and that's all right because Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano just put out an article with rumblings about the Titans. Jeremy Fowler saying, what are you hearing on the Titans' 0-4 start and potential changes they could make? Jeremy Fowler, I'm going to read you the cliff notes of this. Jeremy Fowler says, there is moderate concern about the coaching staff that the front office and ownership might not be as patient as they originally believed, which could lead to change sooner rather than later. The proverbial vibes simply are not good right now. The front office entered the season with optimism about head coach Brian Callahan, who is a hot name on the circuit in 2024. And though it wouldn't set a win-loss goal in regard to his tenure, Titans brass wanted to see a team that is improving. Jeremy Fowler writing, that is hardly the case, saying the overall lack of flow from week to week is only intensifying the discomfort. Saying Callahan relinquishing play calling duties to assistant Bo Hardigree a week ago could buy the staff a little time, but firing him a week after such a change would be counterproductive. Jeremy Fowler writes, the Titans' bye week is week 10, which feels important, but the expectation around the league I've talked to is that the temperature is increasing, especially with owner Amy Adams-Strunk willingness to make drastic changes in recent years. There you go. The one note I will give to this, too, before we get to the other side and Rhett Bryan, Dan Graziano writes in his part of this at the end, and again, there's a lot more we're not reading here because there's a ton of info. Dan Graziano writes this. Here's your positivity, Titans fans. Quote, from talking to people who follow these situations in the league, there's belief that this will be a desirable job if and when it comes open. Young, promising quarterback, new stadium on the horizon, etc. He says, you agree? Jeremy Fowler says, agreed. So, for people that are pushing the panic button on Cam Ward after 4 weeks, the sense in the NFL from NFL insiders is that Cam, new stadium, Nashville, all these things, this is still a good job and one that people could potentially want. There you go. Rhett Bryan joins us from Titans Radio coming up next.
Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire to have it back, then Advanced Hair Restoration has the easiest guaranteed solution. The simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science, man. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated doctors, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it grows for life also. So schedule your free consultation now. The number is 629-348-HAIR. If you qualify, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and they are the team I personally recommend. So don't wait. Check out the befores and afters online for yourself. The number again is 629-348-HAIR, or visit their website at advancedhair.com.
9:04, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tonight, Nashville Soccer Club takes the pitch in search for both the club's and Tennessee's first major professional sports championship. It's an exciting one. The boys in gold are in Texas taking on Austin FC for the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final. This will be just the fifth all-time meeting between the two clubs, and Nashville holds the slight advantage in the series with 2 wins, a loss, and a draw. First kick at 7 p.m. tonight at Q2 Stadium in Austin, Texas, and you can watch the match live via Paramount Plus or on the CBS Sports Network. You can also join Nashville SC's official Open Cup final watch party. It's at Geodis Park's Publix Plaza. That begins at 6 p.m. And in the NFL this morning, breaking news, the Cleveland Browns are making a change at quarterback as they are benching veteran quarterback Joe Flacco in favor of rookie Dylan Gabriel, the third-round pick out of Oregon. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski met with the team this morning and informed them of the change. ESPN's Adam Schefter first with the report. For all your foundation repair and waterproof needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 4, 9 a.m. on your Wednesday morning. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee for 60 more minutes. With Rhett Bryan in studio, Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, I'm Will Bowling. Streaming the show live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. 4's up for quarter number 4. We've made halftime adjustments. We've looked at the film on the sidelines. We've given the pictures to the players. Now we play our best ball. What's up, Rhett?
Hello. Justin spoke in my ear about that time.
Yes.
He said there are no halftime adjustments. I'm like, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. I mean, you're constantly, Coach Mack, I'll tell you real quick, you're making adjustments series by series in a game.
That's right.
Because, I mean, we're going down a rabbit hole real quick. But halftime is 13 minutes.
I didn't realize
And you
that.
dudes, the clock starts as soon as you start walking to the locker room. So it's like, wait a minute, we just got in here. Yeah, it's because we're rolling.
I've learned that in a very, very unique way. Just how quick it is.
Your halftime pee break.
And then I'll come back and I'm walking out with the players.
You're like, wait a minute, you need another report from me right now?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is pea break, is oranges, is bananas. Retaping is what you're doing more than anything. Like, the only adjustment that you really are making is coach giving a speech about what the game plan is going into it. Hey, we need to make sure we do da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's bullet point style, and then you're out.
And then, like, the O-line coach will come up, what y'all like, what you don't like. It's that more than anything. It's what do you like, what you don't like. We're going to do more of this. And that's about it.
Yeah, because when you think about it, so each team, and I think this still widely happens, has their first 15 plays.
Yep.
And so the defenses opposing that are trying to make those adjustments. It's just like two old Greco-Roman wrestlers, like Olympic wrestlers, who go in a knuckle lock and they're measuring each other out, strengths, and trying to see what, just kind of checking everything out. And so by the time you get through each team's first 15 plays, you're probably burned through a quarter.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it is, what are they doing to stop what we want to do? I bet. Let's look at the Microsoft Surface tablet. We're going to do this instead. That happens in real time more than anything. Hey, coach, anytime we go empty, they're sending this guy. Oh, anytime they go empty, coach, they're actually dropping back. Or, hey, stop the stunts up front. Like, it's a constant conversation more than, where did this adjustment thing come from?
I think.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Now, listen, here's the thing, and I'm not, because
college is 20 minutes, by the way, too.
That's
Maybe
right.
it's that.
Well, that is, I think that's part of it. And I want to be very careful when I say this, because we all have friends in television. You were pretty close to one.
A little bit.
But those sideline reporters that ask the coach going into the locker room before the third quarter or coming out, I think those questions come about. But yeah, I think a college game with a longer halftime probably is where some of that is. You can carve that pie up how you want.
Yeah.
But, now, I will say this. The other reason why it is false is they don't, when Coach Mack was coaching, and then when he got into the last phase of it when he was with the Rams, he went from a time where you were printing off these things that looked like it was on fax paper.
Well, I was doing it in 2009.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with those Microsoft Surface tablets,
Yep.
you're not looking at live film, but you have a color video stilled image to look from, not black and white come off of a fax paper in 1998 kind of deal. So because of technology, you're able to look at things almost nearly real time, very shortly after they've happened, and then try to make adjustments series by series.
Right. It is incredible to me, Rhett. This is the Titans' second ever trip to the house that Coach Mack built. It has been 8 years since the Titans have played on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. And the last time before that they went to Arizona to play on the road was 2005.
Yeah, I remember that game.
And that was Sun Devil Stadium.
I remember that game.
Mm-hmm.
So the late, great Mac 9, Steve McNair, did not make the trip. And I can't remember if it was an injury or he had something going on. I can't remember exactly what all that was. Billy Volek played in that game.
Yes.
Billy Volek, I hope you're not listening, Billy. I'm telling on you a little bit. I think Billy called his own play in the huddle at one point, and he got his clock cleaned. And Matt Mock had to finish that ball game, former LSU quarterback. Had to finish, 'cause,
Tennessee villain, Matt Mock.
Cody Allison and I, which, by the way, get ready, y'all. This is going to be fun. Cody and I are starting Cody's podcast. We recorded a couple episodes. They're going to drop very soon. He's the first sideline reporter for Titans Radio, and we have some very funny behind-the-scenes stories from over the years, and I think you're going to like that. But Cody and I were back behind Sun Devil Stadium in the place where you do the media gatherings, and Billy Volek didn't know what town he was in. I mean, he got rocked.
I mean to laugh.
But yeah, that just shows you, because it's out of conference, you play those opponents every 4 years, and you alternate between home and away. So that's just the way it worked out. That's why I reached out to the Cardinals radio producer, head producer, yesterday, and I said, hey, and I'm still waiting to hear back from him. Please email me back. I was like, hey, we haven't been there in 8 years. Can you tell me if anything's changed? Is the visiting booth somewhere different? Because COVID changed a lot of stuff.
Sure.
Do you have any connection issues? Because when we were out there before, a major AT&T switch failed before we got on the air.
I've talked to you about this, yes. I didn't know that was
this
Arizona.
Is before we have the connections and backhaul, we call it, that we've had for the last handful of years. But yeah, it's been a minute, because this was the back-to-back road trip where they stayed out there, because they stayed in Arizona after that and went and played the 49ers the following week.
That's right.
And they unfortunately end up dropping both of those ball games. But yeah, it has not come up very often because they're not in the same conference.
Right. Exactly. So excited to see the house that Coach Mack built. And as we continue with Rhett Bryan this morning, we'll break down the matchup. Rhett has also done some great work to see how often the Titans have been behind the chains, the third down patterns, Rhett, that you've dived into that tell a story.
And I don't want to be ugly at all, but it is alarming. And it is certainly, when we go over this in a few minutes, you're going to understand a little more why they're in the position they're in, because the inability to get something done on first and second down has been very harmful to them. You've heard Coach Mack talk about it every week, and I have the numbers to show it.
We'll do that with Rhett Bryan coming up next.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard, Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee at 104.5 The Zone and streaming live at 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch.
I bless the rains down in Africa.
Brett Bryan in studio, the dulcet tones of Titans Radio's executive producer, with you.
Oh, Toto. Yes.
So we are not in Kansas anymore, Toto. We are talking about the Arizona
Cardinals. I love how you did that. That's a good segue. Let's go.
You have done a deep dive into the Titans and third down success and lack thereof, and being behind the sticks. Coach Mack has made this one of the big points and probably the point of emphasis for this offense this year, is that with the limitations they have versus pass rushes they've played and a rookie quarterback, you got to stay out of third and predictable, third and chains, as Coach Mack likes to say. What have you gained? What have you learned about what this team is doing and the trends associated with the Titans' struggling third down offense?
So, for a defensive coordinator, in the way that Coach Mack's mind works, advantageous for defenses is 3rd and 7+. Yeah. So that's what I looked at through the first 4 weeks. First of all, let's just go with what their third down conversion percentage was in the 4 games. Versus Denver, 2-14. 2 out of 14, versus the Rams, 6 of 15, versus the Colts, 5 of 14, versus Houston, 2 of 11. So that sets the table for what it is. And Coach Mack, you're right. He has harped on this, and he said, I know I'm a broken record, but until you get yourself into third and manageable, this is good. And he's right. And I think the longest third down they actually converted was against the Colts 2 weeks ago. It was 3rd and 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I did an average of the week one. Yep. Of all you said, they were 2 for how much? 2 for 12?
2 for 14.
2 for 14. Yep. Of those 14 third down distances, the average was 13.25 yards. So you averaged.
And 13.25 yards.
3rd and 13. Listen to me. Somebody that's had to protect and play offense in those situations from time to time, nothing sucks more than that.
And there's no play call that on that sheet that's built for a lot of success on 3rd and 13.
Ain't that many.
So the frequency is what is alarming, because I looked at, all right, let's just chart it. I went into the GSIS, the Game Statistical Information System that the league has, and looked at the play-by-play and just charted. 10 times they were behind 3rd and 7 or more versus Denver. 12 times versus Denver, 10 times versus the Rams, 11 versus the Colts, 9 versus Houston, for a total of 42 times in 4 games. Wow. 10.5 3rd and 7+ per game in the first 4 games. And when you look at it that way, and that is rough to look at.
Rough.
But it just underlines what Coach Mack's been saying for these first 4 weeks. Because this is the stuff, this is the hidden yardage that ends up being the difference in ball games.
Totally.
And the sad part about it is they were in all 4 of those ball games through a decent point. Yeah. Now, Dinard Wilson spoke yesterday to the media gathered at a session in St. Thomas Sports Park, and he's like, look, we played defense for 3 quarters, pretty doggone good. We hadn't finished. And, when you start looking at these numbers, 3rd and 7+ that you're behind the chains, you start to understand the woes of where this is. I mean, the defense, bless their hearts, are worn out.
Right.
It's a 17-minute time of possession differential in that game Sunday.
That's so long.
I mean, that's an eternity.
That sucks
for you guys.
Like, as an offensive player, I've been, like I said, referencing back to me, like, I've apologized to the defense in those situations. Those quick, 3 and outs where they've already been on the field and got to stop, And you've had those. I'm sorry, man. I know you got to go back out there. My bad, y'all. Especially when it's a long drive and they stopping for a field goal and they're giving you an opportunity to go score and you got a quick 3 and out. There's just not enough you can say to dudes that are being put in that situations because your inability to move the ball.
Let's take it from another approach too. This is also giving credence and credit to the pass rush of all these 4 opponents that they've had to face.
Right.
And they're a different brand every week, but there's they've run the gauntlet of this stuff. Every week is going to be a challenge for Cam and the offensive line. But we know what Denver was. We knew what the Rams were. We knew that the edge rushers weren't the deal against the Colts. It's those two big monsters in the middle, and Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. And then Houston last week, we knew it was 51 and 55 when you're talking Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, buddy.
And as we pivot to the Arizona Cardinals, they've got another front that you have to contend with. And it's loaded on the left side because you're talking about Calais Campbell and Josh Sweat on that side. And then the second-year man, Darius Robinson from Missouri, who recorded his first sack last Thursday night.
He's got 2 TFLs as well to go with a quarterback hit. Josh Sweat was the kind of white whale edge rusher in free agency. He was the big money guy. That's the kind of world you'll be able to live in next year if you're the Titans, considering you're going to need an edge rusher and you've got more cap space than anybody else in the league. It's the profile of player you might be able to add here next year. But Calais Campbell at 39 years old and him still doing it. I hear a shudder from Ramon because I know you've had to block him before.
Yes, I have.
How is he still playing at such a high level?
He's made himself unique in how he goes about doing his job. He's one hell of a leader. That starts there. He's a culture maintainer.
He's a multiple Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner. Like he's a pro's pro, right?
He is, and he dropped a lot of weight. Like with Calais coming in, might have been like 330 probably.
Yeah. So he went the Jeffrey Simmons way.
Yeah, he did. He got slender. If you look at him, like he looks like this. Like,
he does.
When he walks.
And he's about
like
that. And he's about that tall and long, too, in proportion.
He's a very slender man.
I saw that dude at Radio Row a few years ago at Super Bowl when it was in Atlanta. That is a massive human being.
Walks like Lurch, don't he?
Legit 6'8". Legit.
And he uses all of that appropriately is what I'm getting at, too. He will reach around you. He will grab you. He can line up at DN. He can line up at D tackle. And then he's smart. He's not going to hurt you whatsoever when it comes down to the team and defense that he's playing with, too. I feel like this is Calais Campbell, campaign over here. But
infomercial.
The
Campbell
best,
Payne.
the thing I like about Calais is, he's a good dude, though, too. He's like Reggie White. He'll beat you down, man. Good brother, how you doing, man?
Nice.
Hey, Calais, go.
Don't be so nice to me.
Yeah, go and leave.
I didn't ask you to pray for me.
Yeah, no,
you just beat me to death.
So it was. He's unique though, man. But more than anything, he's a culture maintainer. With what you're looking for a team,
because that's the challenge up front.
And 100 sacks don't hurt either. So.
Oh Lord, no,
not at all.
Baron Browning, one of the outside linebackers, to go with Josh Sweat. Mac Wilson, Akeem Davis Gaither, but Budda Baker is the guy that anchors it down on the back end, and they paid him a lot of money, and there's a reason why, and you're going to see it Sunday. He comes down into the box. I think he's got more run stuffs and run stops than anybody this year, and if not, he's right there in the top 2 or 3 because that's what he does. He's the 8th man that goes down into the box to make life difficult for Tony Pollard and Julius Chestnut on Sunday. So that's the defensive part of it. And by the way, I believe the Arizona Cardinals this year have 27 quick quarterback pressures under 2.5 seconds. I think leads the league or is second in the league in that category.
As quick as Josh Sweat is, too. I mean, that's his MO.
Yeah.
And his ability to get off the ball.
So those are the challenges there. Now, Dinard Wilson's defense has its own set, and it starts with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I saw an interesting thing on him this morning. His time to throw right now, 2.62 seconds, the fastest in his career.
Wow.
Now, his accuracy, I think he's only averaging a little over 5.5 yards per play when he's in that time frame or less.
Yep.
Obviously, that sounds elementary, Red. It's like, yeah, duh. The longer you have a chance to be protected and throw, you might make a better decision. But the off-schedule plays, that's what it is with him.
Right.
And the thing that they run, Will, more than anything in the league, anybody in the league, is 13 personnel with 3 tight ends. And a lot of that is that run game with Trey Benson, who's now the bell cow, now that James Conner is out with a dislocated and fractured ankle. And the other part is their main weapon is Trey McBride, the tight end. I mean, almost 30% of the targets for receivers
the highest
his
target
hand.
share of any player in the NFL since the start of last season. Malik Neighbors second highest in that category.
The last time I remember a single player having that much influence or synergy going towards them as a target. Remember a few years ago when the Titans, and I think it was in 2019, when they went and played the Carolina Panthers, and Christian McCaffrey was there. Like I forget what the percentage was of the offense going through his hands, but it was ridiculous, and it was higher than that.
Yes, and that was the Titans' last loss that year before going to the AFC Championship game.
Correct. That's how I identify that game. Is that was the one that Malcolm Butler broke his arm in the end zone, defended a pass.
Sure was.
But yeah. So and then the other one. I mean, and listen, they have other options. Now, Zay Jones has been trying to work back from an injury. They have Michael Wilson. Greg Dortch is a guy, when they do multiple receiver packages, he's their primary kick and punt returner. You have to watch him because he's got numbers. You look at his punt and kick numbers, his numbers are similar to Chim Dike. Like, he's good. But the big one is Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right.
And we saw that dude at the Combine last year.
Yes.
Yep.
He's way bigger than senior.
Yes, he
like
is.
He's a legit 6'3" and change and a big dude.
He's an athlete.
But you look at the thing that I'm afraid of is that he may have turned a corner just prior to the Titans, because I watched a very good chunk of that last game last Thursday night against Seattle. And he had one catch on 5 targets in the first half, 2 of which went as interceptions, and one of them was certainly his fault because he ran an in pattern instead of an out.
Right.
And it went right to the defender. The other one was a tip off of his fingertips that went to the defender. But second half, he caught, I think, every one but one of his targets, 58 yards and a score. And that's been the story of him so far in 1 season and 4 games, is that it's been up and down.
He also, Rhett, has, even when he has been up and down, has excelled on deep passes. So when he has been targeted deep down the field of 20-plus yards, according to PFF, he's been targeted 5 times. He's caught 3 of them for 93 yards and a touchdown. He has 3 drops this season. 2 of them have been short to medium passes between 0 to 20 yards. He is still such a big athlete that if Kyler puts it up there, he's still as excellent of a deep ball catcher and contested catcher as anybody. It's like he has kind of mastered the more complex stuff, and he's struggling in the easier just rhythm and routine catches. Exactly.
Yeah. And that also speaks to why those 2 guys, he and tight end Trey McBride, because they're both great big guys with huge catch radiuses and wingspans. Because you go look at Trey McBride's stuff. You know about combat, too. Now, when you get him, he's more the short to intermediate stuff, but he's a big enough dude. He can wall a guy off and go get it. But you're right. That is, and combat catcher is kind of what the label was on Marvin Harrison when he came out last year out of Ohio State. But those are the weapons you've got to be careful with. You really do.
Rhett, we talked about this earlier this morning about the Titans offense. And I know Bo Hardegree mentioned yesterday, he regretted some of the things that he called. And he said the 3rd and 12 run I had to Tony Pollard at the edge of the red zone, says, well, I got to do better there. And he was critical of himself. But the Titans have a challenge in scheming for a player who does his best work outside of the scheme, right? And the Titans were able to set up the run game on Sunday in Houston. Tony Pollard is quietly putting together a couple of really good performances.
He's on pace for another 1,000-yard season.
He is, and he just hasn't. The Titans have not been able to break that big play because of the groundwork that they have laid in the run game. It's tricky because right now you feel like going under center and 12 personnel and running the ball, and it's Tony Pollard and a cloud of dust is maybe this team's best way to be successful today. But the best thing for Cam Ward and the best thing for this offense to meet its ceiling is letting Cam learn in real time and try to open things up, try to get in the gun, try to get guys open on transcontinental routes. So there's this mix of, yes, Tony Pollard is doing a lot of good things, but also how much better can we be off script? Because you get 33-yard plays to Alec Iamaner when Cam runs around and creates. So you don't want to teach Cam to all be so conservative and check it down, because the best things Cam does,
you have to find the middle ground.
Off script.
Yeah, you have to find the middle ground. And that's just kind of where they are in this process. I'm going to tell you something else. And just thinking about this as we watch it live and then go back and watch the tape again. Alec Iamaner, first of all, done really, a lot of these rookies have done so well to start out in this thing. They just, it's gotten lost in the wash of having a winless season so far. I think some of the stuff with the receivers is when Cam gets in there and he's got that whip.
Yeah.
There's some adrenaline behind that. He's calm, cool, and collected, but there's still adrenaline flowing. And I think that's where it's like, you can't necessarily, you know how Mac always says you can't manufacture experience. You can't manufacture live things. You can't manufacture. I don't think there's a speed setting high enough on the jugs machine to emulate that. And so there's some calibration there and some getting, like Ellick worked with him a lot in this. And I think that's a little bit of the Calvin Ridley part of this. Like rifling that thing out of there when dudes are running out. You don't have that in practice. They can't touch you.
Right.
So I think there's some adjustment in that. But to your point, yeah, I think Bo looked back and said, golly, I wish I'd have done this. You can always, look, hindsight is 20/20. They always talk about that. But I think if this team is going to notch a win, they're going to have to concentrate on getting some of the base stuff, getting that run game going. And I know they want to do it, and Tony Pollard's ready, willing, and able.
Right.
But the thing is, some of the pre-snap penalties, I go back to what we started this segment with. When you get behind the chains so much in the after first and second down, maybe you had 5 yards on first down, but you have a 10-yard penalty, and then and then it snowballs from there. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure. I can't imagine how frustrated. I mean, Titans fans are frustrated. Can you imagine how frustrated they are?
Yeah.
Oh my. Wow.
That's in there. The West Coast trip component of the back-to-back. Rest is going to be crucial for the squad, specifically going out there, too. Like, this isn't a bad Arizona team. I feel like watching Kyler Murray at times, I wonder how he plays quarterback. But the speed component of him getting outside of the box and extending plays, it's another one of those defensive sides of things where Dinard Wilson this week will say, they got to go back to the basics. This is a basics type of week in which guys can't play outside of the box because he will hurt you with his legs and through the air, too. He's got some accuracy to him. And he's kind of underrated in that one, I feel like.
Yeah. No, you're not exactly playing Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, but there's a lot of those tendencies there. And it goes back to his baseball background. People forget. I mean, he was a top 10 baseball draft pick by the Oakland Athletics. Yeah, he was number 9 overall in 2015, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so there's some of that move to him. You know, we talk about Cam Ward that looks like he's throwing off cutting off a runner or working from the shortstop position. He's got some of that in him too. But the key, it's got to be, you've got to know where Trey McBride is and Marvin Harrison Jr. is.
You mentioned that too earlier about the second half and how they're trying to get him involved in it. He's had nothing but 6 targets the first 3 weeks until last week. Last week he had 10.
That's right.
And that is probably him finally getting ticked off and asking for it a little bit more too.
And it was a tale of two halves, like we just talked about.
Absolutely.
Like he had one of 5 targets he caught in the first half. 2 went for interceptions. One of those drops you mentioned was in that group.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I fear is that the light switch has come on. And can we wait till next week, please?
I know.
Please?
Yeah. Honestly.
But, it is what it is. I can't control or influence the product. But, yeah, he's going to be a problem. You know he is. And you're talking about the deep shot part of this. And I heard you guys talking about some of the stuff from the first quarter of the first 4 games league-wide, just where things are. Big plays are down. The number of offensive plays to gain 10 or more yards through 4 weeks is the fewest since 2008. The number of 20-plus yard plays is the fewest since 2008 as well. That's interesting.
It is interesting.
When you get to the field goal numbers and some of those things, it's outrageous how many. There's been 50 attempts of 50-plus yards through the first 4 weeks, just like it was last year.
Wow.
These kickers, man, something's in the water.
For sure. And the way the K-ball things work, too, where you can practice more with those footballs.
Yes.
Makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
We do have one little update for you at the end of the conversation with Rhett Bryan.
Do we have a britches?
What they're wearing.
Yes, it's a britches report from Jim Wyatt.
All white once again. White jerseys, white breeches, white socks.
Rolling
Sunday
into
in
State
Phoenix.
Farm Stadium with the Stormtrooper Icy Whites.
I like it.
I love that uniform combo.
Looking forward to it, and looking forward to having Rhett Bryan on the show the next 2 days. He'll be back in here tomorrow morning, bright
I'm
and
in for
early.
Biggie.
Looking forward to it. Should be good.
Fun.
Thank you, sir. Good
All
to see
right.
you. We will see Rhett Bryan early tomorrow morning, and we will wrap up your Wednesday morning coming up next. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the show this morning. Quick nugget, not football. Brian Snitker out as manager of the Atlanta Braves. End of an era. Salute to a legend who spent 49 years with the organization.
Wow.
He's going to stay on as a senior executive so he can get his 50th year in baseball. And because he's just really good. He's kind of like the grandfather of a lot of us who are Braves fans. Salute to a legend.
Wow.
Natural time to give it up after a bad season, but kind of sad.
It is. All things must come to an end.
Time to start tracking planes, baby. Let's freaking go. Freaking go.
Braves fans do that too?
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
No, I'm mostly joking. But, I mean, I will do it if you give me the ability to. Tigers beating the Guardians yesterday. AL wildcard game 1. The Cubs beat the Padres. Every time the Cubs play a playoff game, I'm reminded that everyone in my life is a Cubs fan. The Red Sox beat the Yankees on the road 3-1 yesterday. Garrett Crochet, former Vol, goes the distance nearly. Pitched into the 8th inning in that game. And then the L.A. Dodgers, the L.A. bankrolls, the L.A. ATMs, the L.A. you buy a winner beat the Cincinnati Reds 10-5.
Mookie plays for him, man.
Go Balls.
What about the Mets? How the Mets doing?
The Mets are in the same offseason as my Atlanta Braves. I'm not the one that brought it up. You're the one.
I did.
You're the one that put it out there.
On me. That's on
you
me.
threw the pitch down the middle, and Mets are sitting on the couch. Their owner is out there apologizing to fans.
No,
Just a bit outside.
It was a bit outside, Hulk. I didn't realize that. Hey, nephew, said that's on me, man. I ain't mean to bring you down like that. I just knew that y'all had this back and forth going on, and I didn't know if the Mets had outplayed the Braves is all it was.
Oh, they were better than the Braves this year, but still 1980.
Did they go home before the Atlanta Braves, though?
They went home at the same time.
They did? Okay, I didn't realize
Same
that.
time.
Okay.
Season ends the same time.
RJ on YouTube says, when will you have your 50 years, Will? I'm a little over halfway to 50 years on the planet. Little over halfway.
Is he joking?
Speaking of the Braves, could I interest you in Tony Vitello? There was a report that came out yesterday
it wasn't
to
a
go to
report.
San Francisco.
Don't put misinformation out there. There was not a report. Nope, it's not a report. That is someone doing a hot board. Not the same thing.
Yeah.
A report.
Article?
No. A report is when you say this person is a candidate. Then you have a hot board or names to watch. That is someone saying, maybe the Giants could do this. That's not a report tying Tony Vitello to the Giants. That is someone saying, I wonder if they would consider this, which is what the context of the article was.
Could I interest you in a maybe?
No.
Hot board?
No.
It's not you, it's me.
The Angels are also maybe.
Did you see the graphic the Angels put out of Ron Washington? 73-year-old Ron Washington is not returning as the Angels manager. He had a quadruple bypass this past year and did not manage after the first 74 games of the season. They were 38-36. Interim takes over. They've decided for performance reasons, not health reasons, they are not going to have him back next year. The graphic they put out has him in a cloud. I thought they were releasing a very different statement.
I got to go look it now.
Very different statement.
Ron Washington?
Ron Washington. Go to the Angels Twitter, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of Los Angeles, who play in Anaheim. I'm retweeting it right now. Go to @Ramon and Will on Twitter.
They did wrong for this.
They did him really dirty. Really dirty. Hold on, I'll find it.
Is it a reference to Alex Warren, Angels Up in the Clouds?
Hey, no, you don't do this to an older person like this at all. The clouds are meant for obituaries, Hawk. Stop trying to make this okay.
Who knows?
Oh,
it's
my
a song.
gosh.
There you go. I just retweeted it
gosh.
@Ramon and Will, where you should already be following the show anyway. But yeah, go look at it. They've got Ron Washington in the clouds.
That is not okay.
Floating. Also, he was he did have health issues during the season. Like it's not just that you're firing him.
They are wrong for that.
Anyway,
they are wrong for that. Whoever thought of that? Like, and even if he's stepping down or you letting him go, why are you like putting him on the beach like that too? Like, it's so much wrong with that is ridiculous.
Yeah. RJ says, when are you going to have 50 years on the radio? When was my first year on the radio?
I'm going to be real.
I mean, I've been here for 6 years.
Anybody spending 50
on the
years
radio?
on a radio?
Yeah. 46 more years.
How long is Stern?
Well, do that math again.
50 years?
I said I've been here for 6 years, and you said 46
on the radio.
more years.
How long have you been on? Oh, okay.
6 years.
Okay, well then 44.
44 more years. Ramon is losing it. You're ready to go on vacation.
Hulk is so quick to answer.
6, sorry, that'll be 52 years on the radio.
We're going to start judging your Union University degree, Hulk.
I played soccer. I didn't go to school. Why do you think I have 2 degrees? First one wasn't good enough.
So, again, Jeremy Fowler, Dan Graziano with the piece at ESPN.com. If you're just joining us, we talked about at the end of hour number 3. Dan Graziano has a prediction on Brian Callahan's job security at the end of this, Ramon. Again, there's a lot more context. There's a lot more writing to this. We don't have time to dive into all of what they had to say. Buck Rising, I'm sure, will have more on this in a few minutes because it just came out. Dan Graziano says at the end of this article, I might look foolish in a couple of weeks, parentheses, or days, who knows? But if I'm making a prediction, I lean toward the Titans giving Brian Callahan the rest of the year before making a decision.
Might as well pay him while he's on the job instead of paying him to go home.
Points out that if you get rid of the head coach, there are many more important figures on this coaching staff that are going to have to be let go, including the dad of the head coach and Bill Callahan. That's not as simple as just snap a finger and do something different.
Oh.
So that's Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler at ESPN.com. Ramon, enjoy your bye weekend.
Try to, man.
You have won a middle school county championship this week. You beat the Cowbells in Starkville.
Yeah.
Now you get to kick your feet up and just watch the sunset for a little bit.
Couple days, man. A little staycation. Ron Slay got a cowbell in here, too.
He does. I don't know if Slay needs additional ways to make noise. He's pretty good at that himself, but, we'll trust it.
That's awesome.
They know what they're doing over there at 3HO. That is your Wednesday morning. Rhett Bryan hosts with me the rest of the week.
Hey, but good people, you must remember at all times, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.
Come on, you boys in gold.